ridiculous, right?
It gets worse. Studies show more than 75% of new high school officials are quitting because of bad adult behavior.
So now there's a shortage of refs here in Wisconsin, in almost all sports.
No officials means no more games.
Is that what you want for us?
Come on, parents.
It's time to grow up.
Cheer for your team.
Be proud of your children.
But stop being so ridiculous.
And don't make us run another commercial.
Because we will.
This message presented by the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association, reminding you to always practice good sportsmanship.
I'm Doug Russell. We start in L.A. at the World Cup. It was a game that in the grand scheme of things didn't mean much, but don't tell that to Turkey.
It's not over yet. Turkey is going to have a throw in here. It's into Arda Güler, their big star. Pulisic, the USA's big star, gets nutmegs. Chance for a cross, comes back to the top of the box. Now it's clipped in at the backside. Matt Turner, it's snapped home. Turkey score the winning goal in the 98th minute.
As heard last night right here on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, the final score 3-2. Turkey with the last second winner. They're done, though. Team USA had already clinched moving on to the knockout round. They'll take on Bosnia and Herzegovina coming up on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. To baseball, the Brewers were off on Thursday. They're back home tonight to open up a 3-game weekend series against the Cubs. Jacob Misiorowski pitches against former Brewer Colin Ray. The Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake up!
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with a number of cameras.
Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller, for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 hit. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red, right, 18, Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all we're going to y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tail. All right? Hey, go. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag. Be here, see puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sid says we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Good morning on a beautiful Friday in the good land. Welcome in, Huddlers. That's Fox Sports Wisconsin. I'm Bill Schmid. Over there is Armen Sarian. We are going to guide this beautiful ship through an early morning where one of us is going to decide here within the next 3 hours how he is going to move forward in his adult life and his marriage. Because my man Armen Sarian right over there is about to go watch Jacob Misiorowski shove against the Chicago Cubs this weekend. Maybe a bunch of you are as well going to watch Jacob Misiorowski tonight. Kyle Harrison tomorrow. Brandon Woodruff on Sunday. And 877-794-1973 is ready to celebrate with you on the NicolaLaw.com talking text line. Good morning, Armen. How much of last night's – this was fun when we were still the greatest hockey and soccer nation.
Whoa. What do you mean?
It was really, really fun when 2 minutes into the game last night, when I felt like it was time to call it quits after the reserves already went up 1-0 and said, take that, folks. It's soccer, folks. It's called soccer. All right, take your football and leave. We play football in the fall. It's called soccer. And I thought there for the first second, in the first 2 minutes last night, we might live in a country where we just dominate all sports and now we own soccer as well. But man, the USA takes an L last night, somewhat overnight. Not sure how many people are waking up with us in the 5 o'clock club that watched the conclusion of the Turkey A USA
Turkey
98 plus minute friendly last night, because that's essentially what it was when both teams were eliminated. But the USA dropping one. Why do I feel like the wind is somewhat taken out of my sails?
Yeah,
this morning?
That's interesting. And it's interesting because I did see some people talk about that. By the way, good morning to you, Billy. We have a lot to get to today at a huddle, a Drewless huddle. Drew's taking on today.
To get to here.
We have so much to get to, and we've got it. And we'll start with this. But it's funny that you say that, because I did notice a lot of people talking about that. Now, understandably so, because it's the last match that was in front of their eyes. USA has shown, by the way, obviously, to start this World Cup before last night, great form, right? They've been fantastic. 1-2 right away, clinched the group stage already, which is not something very common to do in World Cup group play. It's just to clinch it and have that third game just be, for all intents and purposes, an exhibition game. But I saw the opinion that was shared by you just now, shared by many, that it was like, are we losing momentum? Is this the problem? And it was funny because I don't know if you saw the comments of our national team coach.
I did. I loved Mauricio Pochettino after the game. Because
let's get into all this. Go ahead, Billy. Yeah.
Because listen, you know what? USA last night hosting, obviously host country of the World Cup, a game that was, I wouldn't even say relatively useless. It was
meaningless.
It was meaningless once even the results at 6:00 happened, and it was locked in that you were going to take on Bosnia on Wednesday night in the round of 32. Mm-hmm. Now, it used to be round of 16, correct?
16, yeah. We expanded. We had tournament expansion. I don't remember.
Anybody griping about this one, Armen?
I don't remember anyone griping about this one.
I haven't heard anybody griping about this one.
Maybe they did, but it was like 3 years ago.
Maybe it didn't ruin it, though. So check back in March.
Because we're still having fun watching, right? It didn't ruin the tournament.
I was as excited for that game as I had been for the first two. And again, if the red, white, and blue is on any uniform,
we're all
I
in.
will be pretty all in.
I
don't need to know much about the sport.
Yeah.
You throw the colors on, and I'll play Freebird, and I'll be the dude rowing the boat of a barbecue and a engine. A lot of the fun memes that I saw last night immediately after.
Yeah. Almost to the point, really quickly, Billy, by the way, to the point also for USA Hockey. If you were a casual, you didn't need to know about fourth line.
You immediately go to obnoxiously patriotic.
Doesn't matter. This is our team. We're playing, and we know the general point of the game is to put it in the net.
Well, I was doing
that's the score.
Yeah, and I was doing the Sam Cassell big balls dance after my man 2.5 minutes in rifles one by.
Awesome.
The folks at SoFi, pardon me, Los Angeles Stadium, are losing their collective minds, as they should be. It was out of control loud. It was cool to see, and it reverberated on Fox last night.
It did.
And I'm like, wait a second. We're just the best soccer country in the world right now.
We might be them.
We might just be them. Then like 12 minutes later, they scored. It was 2-1 by the end of the first half. USA gets the equalizer.
Which was a good goal, by the way. Awesome.
in the middle of the second half. Yeah. And then the stoppage time, again, I don't have to understand all of the rules. I guess when you're in possession, they're not going to end a possession, basically. I would have to go back and see the entire parts of it. I would be lying if I told you that I saw it live last night at 11:15 or whatever it ended up being.
You and me both, and everyone understands that, yeah.
But you lose a game that's 3-2, whatever. You're probably going to draw. You won the group going away. You locked in before that you were going to take on Bosnia, which right now you're a resounding favorite against to move on to the round of 16. But my man Mauricio Pochettino, head coach of Team USA.
Awesome.
Our fearless leader in that sweet denim shirt that he's rocking there on the sideline.
He's been great, by the way. By the way, Italian national, but it's true American because he loves Chick-fil-A. I hope you know that.
Well, good.
I'll get that.
Chick-fil-A and I imagine espresso. And he maybe had a double shot before he went in there and was a little sad, a little disappointed after the game, Armen, but not in his boys on the pitch.
Correct. Not in his boys in the pitch. He was a little disappointed in the media.
A little disappointed in the folks in the pit.
Didn't understand what
they're
you
in the
guys
media
were doing.
pit trying to say, excuse me, where are my flowers? I'm sitting up here wondering where. It's kind of a bit sad. Nobody congratulated us. Nobody congratulated us. Sir, I apologize, coach. It is a what have you done for me lately deal.
Interesting. Okay.
And Maybe that was just the journalistic integrities. Maybe the young lady from Jacksonville wasn't in the crowd to say, young man, Liam Cohen, you just have to understand, you did the most magnificent job here.
We love you.
We love you. We appreciate it. You are Duval all the way through.
Duval.
Maybe that's what we needed in there. But Pochettino was not too happy. Do we have Pochettino's words of it last night?
I got audio.
Pochettino last night, this was to start like in the middle of the press conference, a little bit disappointed that he did not go to a bed of roses last night.
For
after
you,
the 3-2.
not to say congratulations that we won the group. That is a little bit sad. It's very positive to finish in the way that we finish. Cannot be possible, I'm sorry guys, it cannot be possible that Turkey finish celebrating the 3-point and Australia celebrating the qualification, Paraguay celebrating the qualification, and come here and for you not to say congratulations that we won the group. That is a little bit sad, but only that. I need to remember you and everyone that we won the group. Sorry, guys. We won.
Sorry, guys.
We won.
It's interesting, right? Because I think it speaks a little bit to a clash in cultures, right? In American sports, even though it was sort of an exhibition game in terms of it counted, but the fate was already decided in terms of finishing. It's very similar, Billy, to that week, that now it's 18 or, week 17, but in week 17 in the NFL, where, all right, home field's been clinched. You're maybe going to play your starters for a couple of series, and then you're going to move on. The result doesn't really matter, but we still do care. It's like Matt Flynn's 6 touchdown game didn't matter, but it matters in our memory because it was a cool game. It was great. And everyone was trying to compete and win in that moment. So in that sense, I agree because there's an American ideal on that. I mean, every year when the Brewers clinch, what do we say the last week? Are we going to go in stale? Are you guys worried that we've lost?
I'm almost worried they clinched too early. Now they're going to be a little rested.
Are we going to peak? Are we going to be hot and peak and all that stuff? So I get it. Do we peak too early? There's all this type of concern. I think there's a little bit of a culture clash here. It's an American sports thing. Not saying it's wrong, just saying that's the reality. Where my man Mauricio rolls up and said, what are you guys asking me these? And his quote was, weird questions.
These weird questions.
Weird questions.
Why are you guys questioning me right now?
Where
you guys not realize we just won?
Congratulations.
Did we not just do something that you guys have not been doing?
That's a good
point.
For
50-something years?
I'm sure he's
winning back-to-back World Cup matches in the group play?
Exactly. Why isn't the storyline, wow, this coach of the UN's men's national team is doing stuff that all these other guys we criticized.
I rolled up here expecting that there would be a contract extension on the podium.
You guys, where are my flowers? Exactly. I dominated this group. Who else has been doing that? What kind of soccer tradition is in your country that you have the monumental gall to come up and say you should never lose? We can't say that as USA fans. However, I did think it was kind of funny when he said you guys are asking weird questions.
You guys are asking weird questions. Why are you guys asking about this game? We whatever.
Did it remind you a little bit of Pulisic when he said, I don't know why everyone's talking about
I don't know why everyone's worried about goals. Well, Christian, we are still getting into it, right? I do believe that's how you score.
No.
But I think this one for Pochettino is somewhat Also, let's just hand up in air. There's some massive tongue-in-cheek sarcasm over on this side of the equation, right? Like they win a game where I think they played like maybe one of their starters. Right?
Yeah, it was 9 out of 11 reserves.
9 out of 11 reserves.
Our first goal reminded me of Scott Tolzien driving down the field and scoring the first touchdown. Okay, do you remember that moment?
But it was soccer nirvana.
It was awesome. Just like that.
2 minutes in, I didn't even have to wait.
Right. Just like that was that was great. If you were worried about goals, you're like, oh, boom, here we go.
Dude just lightnings one right into the corner.
What a start, right?
I immediately think that we're taking on Angola in 92.
And Angola's in big trouble.
And it wasn't. Turkey A said, excuse me, we put up a number of shots. They had the most shots in the tournament without scoring before this.
Yeah, they lit them up.
They got they popped off the seal. And hey, good for them.
They're the ones that
I thought they would have been 1-2-3 Cancun.
Yeah.
And they ripped it up because they don't know if they're going to play again here in 4 years. So good for them. And again, you can think of it a number of different ways. The most important game is Wednesday. But there is a sliver of the normal 9 to 5 American folk that's waking up today in potentially an hour or so, woke up with us here in the 5 o'clock club and said,
man, dang, we lost. We wanted to win.
We lost. All right. Well, that was fun. That was cool. There's like the slightest bit of momentum publicly because it was hot, Armen. Like you could look at the World Cup ratings on television and realize this stuff is big time right now. People are getting extremely into it. You throw the American flag on just about anything, especially in the Freedom 250 year.
Boom.
People are going to be eating it up.
What? 4th of July coming up.
It came at a perfect time.
I had a bomb pop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just like I'm saying all the red, white, and blue.
Oh, 100%.
We're feeling all of it
You
right
might have
now.
been making bomb pop jello shots.
Yeah, it's summertime. I mean, it's a great time in the sports calendar for something to happen.
Folks probably took off today.
Right.
Realizing, hey, 9 o'clock game might be over at Summerfest. I'm going to be hanging out here watching some of the match.
What?
It's match day in the United States. It was the first L that we've had to deal with in this World Cup, but we'll be fine. We'll get the boys back out there. Alex Freeman and company will be on the pitch.
That's a good point. Well, I said this was the JV team in a way. This was the B team. 9 of 11 starters didn't play. That's another thing to remember, Billy.
All the guys with cards will get those erased. I'm trying to get up on the lingo.
Yeah, it's kind of difficult to do if you haven't been used to it. But I'm with you on that. There's some things I have to kind of still grasp. But the cards thing is interesting, how the yellow cards work and how guys are eliminated. But that's another one.
The FIFA thing, though, a little Masters like, right? They're not fans, they're patrons, right? Like you got to change it just a little bit more into this.
Yeah,
sport.
and for those of you who want, it's pronounced Herzegovina, so the U.S. are going to be playing Bosnia Herzegovina. If you guys are wondering in a few days how it's pronounced,
I'll have to check on it. I believe we had a superhero of the day who's being going to be playing for that Bosnian national team. I think there's a young man from Wisconsin that's going to be on that team. He made the winning goal to have them qualify for the World Cup a number of months ago. So that should be fun. And last night again, it was a sellout crowd at Los Angeles Stadium. Place was packed. It looked cool. It has been an absolute spectacle.
Awesome.
USA all the way. Doesn't matter that we had a little bit of hiccup yesterday. We're still going to win the World Cup.
Sorry, guys, we won. Put it on a shirt.
Sorry, guys, we won. I apologize.
We're going all the way. I will say, though.
Pochettino was just like, guys, I'm sorry. I saw we went all the way up to 28-1 to win the World Cup. Did you want us just to steamroll these guys 4-1 and then the value completely goes down?
Just kill the value for my hardworking Americans.
Get a little bit more plus money here after an L, and maybe it'll be 30-1 by the time you place that thing.
I will say, I personally wanted us to send Turkey home crying. Now, that was just a personal. I didn't expect it to be. It was important to me. I didn't expect it to be as important to everybody just because obviously the group had already been decided.
Yeah, this one's a little bit more personal.
It was personal for me. And but they're calling them Turkey A now? I guess that's how they applied to the UN for a name change. That's how the process has to go. By the way, I researched that, which is kind of
so it's not as easy as just changing your name. You just go down to the DMV and say, "Excuse me, I'd like to change it."
Exactly. You have to get your license changed.
Maybe they'll also learn though the tough lesson that I think you only get like 3 name changes.
That's it. You're just done. You can't keep doing it. I didn't know that, by the way.
No, there is a limit as to how many times you can actually change your name. Then they just say, sorry, you're going to be stuck here.
But yeah, and then that's it. You're done. It's over. Big time nerd geek energy though from Turkey, celebrating the way they did it. I know this is soccer. That's what you do. But you've already been eliminated. This is sort of a meaningless game. I know it's exciting for you to win a World Cup match. Fine.
Yeah.
But they're
in enemy territory.
They're like just
70,000 folks screaming their heads off against you,
sliding around like he's somebody. But whatever. Yeah. And the other thing was, it was 7 minutes of extra time to answer your question, but the official can blow the whistle whenever. So it's not like in basketball.
So he can't. He doesn't have to like leave it for the possession or whatever. Or he kind of change a possession. Ball moves away, then they'll whistle it dead.
So I think that there's no rule for that. Tell me if I'm wrong, Dobler and everybody else. I think that's the way it usually is officiated, though. Like like in the middle of your kick, the whistle isn't going to be blown. You're going to get to finish a possession. So if the U.S. made a save there or cleared it once, it probably would have been over. But just like stoppage time is determined by the officials based on their analysis of how much time was lost, during stoppage time, they can blow the whistle based on how much time they think was lost in stoppage.
It's just a full free for all.
Which is kind of weird if you're used to watching our traditional ball and stick American sports and but maybe it's sort of like with 1
clock
second
going
left.
up instead of going down is a little bit of a mind bender.
It is, but
that's a little bit of a trip.
It's like in the NFL. If you have 1 second left on the clock, you get to finish the play.
Yeah, you're rolling it through.
So it's similar. Although I thought the whistle was going to be blown a little bit, but it is what it is. Turkey got their win, and they can celebrate and go home.
So
as losers,
if you got to send Turkey home on a from Los Angeles,
I think that's
16-hour flight.
Oh yeah, it's a long flight. I don't think they can.
or send some
Can you
folks.
fly nonstop? I think the longest nonstop flight in the world is 17 and a half.
You would know that answer. I would not.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a much better chance of knowing the answer to that.
It's not like Iran where they have to fly to Mexico after every game.
But you might have the answer to this one.
Yeah.
Would you prefer to send Turkey A home wallowing in their sorrows for a 16-hour flight, or some folks in Cubs blue and red tonight weeping back down 94 with the tailgate hitting them in the tailgate hitting them in the wow.
That's okay, Billy. It's all good, buddy. No, I want to send Cubs fans. I mean, because that's the devil right in front of me.
Hitting them in the tailgate on the way back. There we go.
That's the
Had
one.
to get it out there at some point.
Yeah, that's the devil in front of me, and that's the goal. And obviously, because it's all about me, just like it's all about all of us.
Correct.
Our sports world revolves around us. We're the main characters. I'm going to be face-to-face with Cubs fans, which means I want to be able to stuff it in their face. And that includes my wife.
That includes your wife.
And not my daughter, because she, as far as I can tell so far, in her 23rd month of life, is a Brewers fan. Okay? I'm just going to say it like that.
Well, then maybe that'll answer the question that folks are going to be asking coming up here today. Will Armen Saryan be able to win the battle at home and have baby Lena in a Brewers shirt today? Will it be a Purdue Boilermaker Boiler Up?
That would be all right with me.
Onesie. Or will potentially Armen Saryan bend the knee and his wife win, and he's going to a game with 2 Cubs fans tonight? We'll find out as we roll on here together. No Drew Olson today, no problem. He is enjoying himself a day off after I can assume a winning banner night last night at Summerfest.
And based on where he is and where Summerfest is and the traffic, maybe he couldn't get in and out of that place. Because, I mean, it's always busy. We were down there last night. It's always busy to get in and out of Summerfest.
Especially late. And it was a good night there last night in the Good Land.
Sure.
It's a great night across the state of Wisconsin. It's going to be a hot weekend, and we're starting it out hot and heavy. We have Tricia Whitaker coming up with our friend Hunter Baumgardt. That is going to be our halftime report here today. Scott Dolphin, also veteran move, out today.
These guys are smart, taking Fridays off in the summer.
Smart guy. Make as many. He's also, I think, just experimenting, Armen, with that little 4-day work week that people are pitching.
Trying to move us along as a
Let's
society.
see if I test it out. If I'm very good at it, why don't we all just try to adopt it? 5 o'clock clubbers can think about that on a Friday morning and join us at 877-794-1973. Streaming live on YouTube, X, as well as Facebook with you. It's the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. We got 2 chances for you to win a 4-pack of tickets to Festa Italiana. It's the Huddle this morning on a beautiful Friday in the good land. I'm Billy Schmidt. Armen Sarian's right there. Drew Olson off today. He will be back on Monday and skating at full strength after the holiday will be this radio program as summer cannibalizes the calendar and the schedule. However, the entertainment and the conversation never stops here on the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Good morning. Armen is going to be taking his family to an event tonight. There's a little event going on this weekend. It's called Brewers and Cubs. It's the first of the home games at American Family Field for Brewers and Cubs coming up this year. And Armen, I don't think it is hyperbolic. I don't think that you can necessarily overstate just how big of a series this is coming up at American Family Field this weekend. You get your 3 horses on the bump. You get a Cubs team that's coming in here, albeit playing the Mets, but feeling real good about themselves. They just had an extra inning win last night, sweeping the Mets. They've won their now 44th game of the year. You're 20 games over 500 and 6.5 games up in the NL Central. I think water has finally found its level in the NL Central. You look at the top 2 teams, it's Milwaukee and Chicago, just like I think we all anticipated it would be, even though many prognosticators thought that it would be on the other side and maybe the roles would be reversed. It was a year ago, and the Brewers were in a big deficit right around this time against Chicago, rolling down to Wrigley Field and realizing that while the series is not going to win or lose you a division, it sure can make the next month and a half a lot more entertaining or a lot more daunting, depending on how these next 3 games go for the Northsiders. It's a huge series coming up that starts tonight. And I wouldn't want to have anybody else on the bump and the pitching staff be any more ready for this series to roll through, because right now the Brewers are set up perfectly.
They are. And it's great that the Brewers are able to do that and get their best bullets ready for this series, which I think it is big, Billy. I think that's something that people can debate all the time throughout the regular season when you have, you're in a race, you're in a division race. Well, okay, every game matters. Every game's the same. But in reality, these head-to-head games are different for a couple of reasons. One, you don't get them as many times as you used to. There's a lot, the schedules change, there's more interleague play.
And I think you started to feel that too.
You definitely did, I think. And the fact that is you're not going to engage with your division rivals as much. So when you do, it's that much more important. Also, let's be honest, it's just a different energy and a different juice when it comes to Cubs Brewers. And these series, to your point about last year, seem to come up and crop up at the most interesting times at real inflection points of the season for both teams. I think the Cubs' early start, which was so hot, so fast, was interesting because there was an idea that they were going to maybe try and run away with this thing, or at least be the front runner all year. And then the Brewers got things together real quick, turned it around, and put their foot in the throat real quick. But like you said, finding its level, the Cubs have found a way to figure out their injury issues and early stumbles and put a little streak together that now puts you at a situation where you're like, okay, Brewers have a good lead here as we sit on June 26th, 6.5 games up. But a sweep here could obviously change the entire tenor of what that looks like. And you wouldn't want that to happen. So we usually go through this, Billy, every year when this comes up. Is it the Eeyore in you that's worried? Okay, this series could be really bad if we don't get one. So I'm happy to win one. Do you want to say, no, I'm going to put my foot in the throat and win all these? But obviously the extra inning wins last night for the Cubs, the fact that they won 4 in a row puts a different mark on it, because if this was an 8-game lead or a 9-game lead, it might not feel the same. Although it's always important, but it might not be the same as when you look at it and say, all right, this is a 6.5-game lead. We have to go and try and get this done. So it is good for that reason, right, to have Miz on the mound against our old friend Colin Ray tonight, I believe, is in the bump.
It is a great thing. The Brewers would be dwarfing the Cubs in the run differential department. They're doing that to most teams, as they have the second best run differential in the National League. But both of these teams have won 7 of their last 10. Right, the Cubs have played significantly better ball since kind of bottoming out at 500 and started to climb their way back. But that's a chilling realization when you're the team chasing. As Brewers fans, we've seen it for a number of years where you're playing better, you're continuing to get yourself and build some, as our former superstar would say, build good habits. You're putting some stuff together, you're stacking some success, and all of a sudden you're looking up and you're not moving anywhere,
right?
Because the team ahead of you is keeping pace, doing pretty much the exact same thing. I think the Brewers at most were 8, potentially 8.5 up on the Cubs. Now it's 6.5. And to your point, 3 in either direction is really significant. I do believe winning the series is going to have, while obviously not as much of a mathematical difference in it, it's going to be a massive headwind if you drop 2 of 3 for Chicago going forward and going into the All-Star break. Because this is a laborious run, right? Mm-hmm. Drew said it yesterday. Luckily, you're not wheezing and, taking on water as you go into this All-Star break. There's still plenty of time here. Definitely. There's 2.5 weeks, and your most grueling stretch of ball that you're going to play is going to start now. So that's one of the disadvantages of this situation. It comes up and it kickstarts your 18 games in 17 days, I believe is what it is, with the doubleheader in the 5-game series in 4 days in St. Louis. But this is going to kick off one of your toughest runs into the All-Star break, and you win 2 of 3. All right. Great. Let's start this thing off and let's roll. Yeah. And let's keep the good vibes going into a 4-game series against Cincinnati, where you just won 3 tough games, and I don't know that they think that they can beat you after how some of those games went. Mm. You signify that as well to Chicago, and there's a much different tone that's rolling into this. I could not be happier with, well, let me say this. I would be a lot happier if there were both certain suspensions for over the top motions on the field. I don't think Abner Uribe ultimately should have been suspended, but that's just me.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting.
But I'm very glad he served it on Wednesday night.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I'm very glad that the de facto 1-game suspension happened on a day that he was definitely not going to pitch. You were going to able to load up with Ashby, McGill, and Uribe.
Yes.
Get Jared Koenig back, most likely coming up here today. I assume that we're going to get a roster move once Pat and the boys talk to Hunter and the boys down there at American Family Field. And you get into this series with Miz pitching his best. Now, after Sanchez's outing last night, eyeing up starting the All-Star game, because you can't give up 5 runs on the road against Washington. I'm sorry. That's just going to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Might be a disqualifier. And you have a chance to send a massive message coming up here this week. I'll be trying to figure out what the split is. What are you anticipating the split in terms of fans in the stands will be? Because there's obviously a lot of excitement, and there should be down there for Chicago, but there should be even more here. A lot of times there's a little bit of a cautious excitement, especially for a weekend series against the Northsiders.
Well, I think there is, because of the situation just in general when the Cubs fans come up. That and how much is going on right now in Milwaukee and Summerfest and things like that. But I'll tell you what, Billy, you say cautious excitement for the Northsiders, or you say excitement for the Northsiders. I think there's got to be a little bit of as well, a little bit of okay, maybe we beat the Mets, but you got to show me more, because so far it's recently been disappointment from Cubs fans about what's happened to this team. That being said, I think that there's always a chance when you win a few games and you say, all right, now we're going to start to feel ourselves a bit. This is our chance to go up and get some against the Brewers fans. Maybe there will be a little bit of action. So it might be a pretty decent split, 50-50 type split, because I think Brewers fans always excited, sometimes don't want to deal with Cubs fans. That being said, every Brewers fan should feel pretty good and confident about what they have going, what the team's been doing so far, and obviously about the young man that's going to take the ball tonight. I don't think if there's anything, it's more of all right, I want to see us, really, really blow this team away, because we have Miz on the mound, and it's my excitement to go to the Brewers game against the Cubs and really have a chance to put it in their faces. So it's almost like, hey, I hope Cubs fans come. I hope they come tonight, so I have a chance to really, pop off a little bit and run my mouth. I'm not sure if that's what Brewers fans are thinking, but I do think we'll see an interesting 50-50 split of Brewers fans and Cubs fans there tonight and for this whole series. But I think not only important to get this series, Billy, get off at a good start tonight. Get Miz some runs early. Set the tone for the series. Say, all right, we have our horse on the mound. We have our horse on the bump. He's awesome, but we know every now and then, you always have one of those nights, but we're going to make sure that tonight's not that night. And even if it is that night where you guys find a way to crack off some runs against them, we're going to get them an early lead, get some early runs against our own friend Colin Ray, because we cannot let Colin Ray beat us tonight. I'm sorry, you just can't
I'll be
happen.
with you on that. Yeah, that one can happen.
So get some early runs, get the momentum started. let's make sure we send the L to the north side there. Colin Ray, shout out Pipe Bomb. Well, I see you out there.
Oh, I know he'll be excited. 715 Psychologically, the series is huge. For the past year plus, we've had the advantage. If we win the series, or better yet, sweep them, it keeps the thumb on them. Huge benefit in numerous ways. That it is. And year and a half, absolutely. I kind of argued, and you and I went back and forth and sparred on this when the playoff series was happening as well. I would argue it's been longer than a year and a half. I mean, really, since 2018, you've lived rent-free in that group's mind.
Got
now,
the better of the series, right?
Got definitely the better of the series. Now, they won the division in 19, right? And then the Brewers ended up losing in the wild card round there. But that was another massive chase back and forth, if I do recall. And ever since then, you've been kind of one-upping. You've dominated the division for the last 5 years. And there is a chase, and it's not you to them. It's them trying to chase you. And again, now that you've got a newly made young rotation that is as dominating and scary to face in baseball, you go out here and you take 2 or 3, and there immediately again does plant some more seeds of doubt for the folks there in Chicago. Miz tonight, must see TV. Armen Sarian is going to be seeing it. You're going to be seeing it from the bleachers. Not a bad spot to be seeing Miz.
No, I'm excited.
You're seeing a lot of pitch movements and shaping coming up there from the back end, as long as you can keep your eye on it.
Yeah, and it's not going to be it's on Apple TV, so I'm going to be able to see the game. That's the most important.
Yeah,
thing.
Steven on Alaska, not lying, and they put the damn game on Apple TV tonight, so hardly anybody can watch it. Nice move, MLB.
Well, you can watch it. You just gotta, subscribe and pay the money. That's what it comes down to.
But if there's going to be a time too, this would be the week, because the Brewers are also on Apple TV again next week.
Yes, there would.
So you will get, bang for the buck is a hard way of saying it. But you'll get a little bit more of the money's worth coming up, because you get to watch the Brewers and Diamondbacks next week as well.
It's correct. No, yeah.
This is the price of being better.
I like
people
that.
want to watch your games. People, just like it was the tax of having a generational superstar. People are going to want that superstar. But we also get Tricia Whitaker, so it's not a bad deal.
Oh, it's a great deal. We're excited for that. And Hunter was excited, I'm sure, to talk to her. I like to go into these things fresh, so I haven't watched it yet. So we're going to hear it together. The second segment of the 6 o'clock hour, Billy.
Coming up in about 45 minutes from now.
And I do say watch it together, because for those of you who don't realize, it is on camera. If you want to check out our YouTube stream, X and Facebook, you can always watch the interview. And a lot of people like to watch Tricia Whitaker.
I'm surprised. And if you're watching tonight on Apple TV, cameras are pretty outstanding.
Yes.
Like the cameras,
production's good.
The production on Apple TV is pretty dang good.
Mm-hmm.
The accessibility, I'm with Steven on Alaska, maybe not so much, but the production, very, very good. 715. I personally would have thrown Miz on Sunday with the sun. Difficulty seeing the 104 mile an hour fastball 75 times of the game in the shadows.
Yeah, but the sun's lasting longer this time of the year. Don't forget. But he's right about that.
Good point.
But the thing is, he doesn't need that. I think to myself, Miz doesn't need that help. It's tough to catch 104 no matter what.
No, you might not need it.
I don't want smoking.
But I'm not going to say I wouldn't take it.
I would take it every day.
Right? Like I'll have the pause. I'll enjoy and reap the benefits of it.
Yeah.
But maybe Miz Day, since it's equaled win day. I'll say it last week. In Atlanta, Friday, Miz in those sweet Wiscos.
The Wisco tonight. The sweet Wiscos.
That's what he was rock. Yes, sweet Wiscos. Come on now.
In the Wiscos. It's our uniform for my team.
I'm coming around on the Wisco uniform.
Yeah?
I'm coming around on the Wisco uniform. I think it looks better in action.
It's a good looking
The blue
color.
looks much better in action. The W cap still throws me off.
It's Washington to me. I don't
the
like
Wisco is it's growing on me. I still haven't used it enough. Maybe I should be using it more,
because it means you're approaching that from a positive and optimistic view, which I'm not, and that's my problem. And I appreciate your worldview.
And who would have thought that I would be the cockeyed optimist?
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
877-794-1973.
By the way, Steve from Alaska texted in. He's 58 in the 5 o'clock club. I wanted to
Let's
mention
go, Steve,
because I don't want people to forget about their numbers. So I did give you a little print out there, Billy. So we always have it available. We'll print it out, the number. We'll print out the names and the numbers there. So we'll try to get it on one page. So I'm sorry it's a little small. Let's get this page longer. If you want to be in the 5 o'clock club, chime in. It does close at 6.
This is phenomenal.
Yeah, so just so we remember here who we
Our
got.
boy Vinny already checked in on the YouTube stream. He's in here, sitting here at 51.
Yeah, well, there's Vinny from Mequon, who's 60, and Vinny from Oconomowoc at 51. So I think that was Mequon, Vinny. So I'm going to say that was 60.
Janie and Appleton, number 15, already checking in. Good morning.
Yeah. Janie, what's up?
I finally watched the World Cup last night, and we lose. I guess it's me, right?
Janie, watch again.
Don't worry. It's not your fault. It's the reserves' fault. Yeah. At least this time it looked like both teams were trying to score. Bring on baseball. Go Brewers. Beat the Cubs. And make CC go home with his pickle face.
Oh, that was about it.
I like it, though. I'm going to start busting it into the lexicon.
Sure. I like pickles. That's the problem. I don't want to disparage.
You're not trying to deface pickles?
Hey, but speaking of counsel, Will on the YouTube comments, Will D said this is a big series for him. Is it? Does he look at it that way? I don't know if he does. We should talk about that. We have a little time after the break to talk about that.
We got a little time after the break. We got a lot more time in the 6 o'clock hour. We got one pair of Festa Italiana tickets going to the folks. Well, hold on here. Should that be coming up next?
The Festa deal?
Should one of the Festa Italiana 4-packs be a 5 o'clock club special?
We do have 2 4-packs.
We have 2 4-packs.
Yeah, let's give one away let's do that.
Let's give away one in this hour. Let's give away one right now at 877-794-1973. We tell you that being a part of the 5 o'clock club has perks, has special perks. This is one. Sometimes we just give stuff away to the 5 o'clock clubbers. Not to say we don't appreciate everyone that's going to be hanging out with us at 7, but right now at 877-794-1973, you, being caller number 5, can win a free 4-pack of Festa Italiana tickets. Caller 5, winning a 4-pack of Festa Italiana tickets right now on the NicolaLaw.com talk and text line. We're back after this. Tricia Whitaker stops by and hangs out with our friend Hunter Baumgardt in about a half hour. You're huddled up on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Brewers and Cubs coming up tonight. 3 games start at American Family Field. If you're going to the game, Potawatomi Sportsbook can take you there with their game day shuttle, the only one that potentially pays you to take the shuttle to and from a Brewers game. Just simply make a same-day sportsbook bet or a sportsbook dining purchase, get a wristband, and get a ride to and from American Family Field. It's the Huddle. I'm Billy Schmid. That's Armen Sarian. Our winner of the first of the 2 4-pack of Festa Italiana tickets, Armen, I'm scanning this beautiful list that you just made me.
This might be an L by me, or I'm not really sure.
How
what
on
happened.
earth does our boy Eddie and Stalis not have a number, Armen?
Eddie and Stalis is one of our mainstays. I'd say he's,
he commented on the YouTube
mainstay.
stream here today. If you're not first, you're last.
And he's here every day, every morning. We appreciate it. I don't see him on the
And he's
list.
not on this list.
I don't think he ever got a number.
Is this list folly?
It might be an income. I mean, any list that doesn't include Eddie and Stalis might not count. So I don't know if I should. The problem is he should have a higher, main number, but he's not on here, and that's got to be on me for not adding.
We're
him
at
right away.
63.
You can have 63.
If we added a few more, he could be number 69. I don't think Eddie would mind.
No, definitely not. But I just feel bad not giving him like a top 10 because he's obviously in here every day. Maybe he should be number 0.
It's not a ranking though.
Should I give him 0 like Matthew Golden? What do you get? Is that respectful or disrespectful? Or is that kind of wrong? Is that like taking away? That doesn't
be
count.
kind of wrong to our boy Aaron and Fondy, Statman Steve, Buddy Pal, Austin the 608. I don't know that they deserve to get bumped back here.
Eddie,
but I don't know that he just gets the fast pass. But I think we write that wrong. He's going to find himself in there in the 5 o'clock club.
63. Eddie and Styles is officially 63. So holy cannoli, congratulations.
I thought Jessman was 63.
I meant Jessman told me he wanted 99 for some
smart
reason.
Guy.
He wanted 99.
Wanted to rock the Gary Sanchez look.
Gary Sanchez guy, so Aaron Judge guy. But yeah, holy cannoli. It's Festa, and he won the ticket. So congrats, Eddie, for a 4-pack. It's going to be a lot of fun, as you know, Billy.
Our boy Brian on the Facebook side of the stream today, put me on that list. I'll come up from Fort Myers. Brother, you don't have to come all the way up here from Fort Myers. This radio show might be in Fort Myers coming up later on this year.
You're already 61. You're on there, Brian, from Fort Myers. I got you on there. But yeah, that would be nice, Billy. Well, that will be a stop on Geezer Palooza for sure. For Fort Myers.
That's a long flight. That's going to be a long stop. All right, let's go.
You're right.
I like that we're spanning states wide here on Geezer Palooza. We have tried to decide where it was going to go.
The Geezer Palooza plan was a lot easier when we were just stopping in like Sparta.
I thought we were going to go to Alaska. I thought we were going to go to Rhinelander.
Wausau, maybe a little bit of
pit stop in Crandon.
Yeah, Oconto, stop up there. But boy, if I'm taking us to Fort Myers, we might need more gas money and food.
We're gonna need those prices to come down a little bit if that's gonna be the case.
Yeah,
and we're gonna need people to take a little bit longer time off. We were planning a week. If we're driving all the way down there, we're taking 3.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It's gonna be a little bit longer of a time there.
Maybe I shouldn't promise that. We should hope for that, but we shouldn't promise.
877-794-1973. Our boy Joe in Pewaukee is checking in from Tennessee, boys. Going to be a good series for the Crew coming up this weekend. I got a good feeling about this weekend series for the Milwaukee Brewers, not only because they've been playing as well as they have, not only because Armen Sarian is going to be there tonight and his young daughter is going to be on the right side of the rivalry rocking a Brewers t-shirt.
Oh, it's chilly. Maybe a sweatshirt.
Brewer sweatshirt?
Yeah, maybe.
Fresh one from the team store that you're going to buy to be able to cover up something that potentially is also on?
Yeah, if I don't get to Target first. Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
Good stuff at Target.
Target's got great stuff.
Good stuff at Target. You might even be able to get in on those Target Circle Days.
Mm.
Isn't that wrapping up the Amazon Prime Day week?
It is.
If you're looking on Amazon Prime, you're not going to find the deal that you really want, which is your family is looking for some Iron Jock. Go to ironjoc.com. While you're shopping all these big old online bookstores, shop local and get the best performance gear in the world coming up right now. And it's at ironjoc.com and our friends at Iron Jock. He's Armen. I'm Billy. Hour 2 with you. More Miz conversation. Miz Day has equaled win day outside of one time in Atlanta since April. The confidence level, and we'll talk here. Tricia Whitaker coming up with our boy Hunter in about a half hour.
I'm Doug Russell. It was basically a soccer friendly, with Team USA already having clinched a trip to the knockout round and Turkey knowing they were headed home. Still, both teams played until the final minute.
The USA's big star gets nutmegs. Chance for a cross. Comes back to the top of the box. Now it's clipped in at the backside. Matt Turner, it's snapped home. Turkey score the winning goal in the 98th minute. They might be going home tomorrow, but they're going wild now.
Play-by-play courtesy of Fox Sports. The final score 3-2. Turkey with the last-second winner. As for Team USA, they're headed to the San Francisco area. That's where they'll play Bosnia and Herzegovina in the round of 32 coming up on Wednesday night starting at 7. And the Brewers are back at it tonight after taking Thursday off. They'll welcome in Craig Counsell and the Cubs to American Family Field. First pitch is at 6:45. Hour 2 of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
With the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Biller for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
We got what we got to do. All right? That's all the good boy got to do. Let's go out and kick the tape. All right? Hey, yo. 1, 2, 3.
Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right all the way outside. Wide left. Fake 396 bag. D hand. C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
Mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid,
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
and Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
Hour 2 of the Huddle on a beautiful Friday in the state of Wisconsin is live with you, 877-794-1973. The NicoletLaw.com talk and text line is ready for you to interact, enjoy, and get ready for Brewers and Cubs coming up tonight at American Family Field. I'm Bill Schmid. Over on that side of the glass is my main man, Armen Sarian.
What's up, Billy? Good to talk to you. The 5 o'clock club is officially closed, but that doesn't mean you can't still be here clubbing it up with us. The whole show is basically, it's a club, the Huddle Club, but the 5 o'clock club officially, unfortunately, is closed, but not without a little controversy. I think
this is the most awoken
Yes.
A-bar that you possibly have.
That's exactly what it is. And let's be honest, everyone's welcome all the time. We know this. But the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line did have a late run. You know, in your fantasy draft, when there's a run on kickers, a run on defenses. There was a run on 69. Pause. There was a run on it because once you announce that it might be up for grabs,
A lot of Summerfest fun, huh?
everyone wants to be in, yeah, I guess. Justin and Jacksonville, everyone's trying to get 69 now. It's like, all right, listen, it doesn't go like that. All right. If you don't have a number and you are going to be added in order, then there will be 69. But you can't just position yourself to have 69.
I do like trying to, though.
This is sort of like when I was in high school, Billy, at Go Hustlin' Hawks, Greenfield. What's up, East Side? I know you weren't on that side of town. But when I was in Greenfield, they did an exciting thing where you could buy, you could personalize if you paid your own like baseball jersey. It'd say like Greenfield, you could pick a number and a name. And I'm like, oh, this is super cool. You know me, I definitely got one.
Better get one.
Yeah. I don't know if
might be the easiest way to get one.
The opportunity to put my name on a shirt.
Sure.
But I remember there was a little controversy because a bunch of dudes were trying to put number 69 on there. And the school like didn't allow it.
Said, excuse me, no, we're not going to let you do that.
And they're like, why not? That's a number. One guy's like, that could be my football number. He said could be because he didn't make the team yet. Like,
sure,
it was
could
possible.
be. They might give it to
Right.
me. It might get issued to me
So
later
that
on.
was kind of that just kind of reminded me of that. It was kind of funny, but I don't know. Just something funny. I remember when I did read the NicoletLaw.com talk and text line this morning. But Billy, it's going to be a wonderful morning. A little chilly today, but hey, who cares? It's going to be a Friday in the good land. Brewers going for the game 1 win against this Cubs in the series tonight against Miz, and Summerfest rolls on. Ed Sheeran last night apparently, of a banger of a show.
Oh, I bet it was hot.
We weren't there that late, but I did get to see Vertical Horizon a little bit. So that was
there. You go.
That was exciting. Lena seemed.
Were
to
they
like
vertical or horizon?
Good one. That's a great point. Yeah, it's an oxymoron, isn't it?
Sorry, I just had to throw that one in there.
Yeah, great times though.
How many people would you guess have worn number 69 for the Green Bay Packers?
I would say a good amount. I mean, there aren't that many numbers that go around for linemen, and that's a lineman number. I mean, obviously Bakhtiari had it for a while. So how many guys? I'll say 6 or 7 players wore it. Was it my way
10.
off? 10. Okay.
10 players. None really for any long period of time other than Bakhtiari.
Oh, good.
Everybody else had really only worn it for like 1 or 2 years outside of my man Bill Forrester, who rocked it from 53 to 58 on some of those, really, really good teams.
Well, they were not in the 50s. But, back then, I don't think the joke was there yet. So it probably wasn't something like he capitalized on. With
what do you mean?
Well,
you don't think the folks in the 50s, after the roaring, coming out of the Industrial Revolution,
all the baby boomers
were learning what was happening?
World War II. Maybe they did. You didn't. There wasn't meme culture in the 50s. It was only memes were like on, Leave It to Beaver and stuff. There was no meme. So maybe you're right. Maybe in the back rooms of bars and saloons we didn't hear about where they were smoking cigars and stuff, they were making those jokes. But now it's on the internet. You get my point?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
Now. Yeah.
Now, if I'm Dylan Barrett, who is newest camp man for the Green Bay Packers, trying to make a team.
I thought that was the summit. Barrett's. I thought that was the summit. That's coming up, by the way.
One of the keynote speakers.
Yeah.
He grabbed 74. If they asked me in the conversation with the team personnel, like, what number do you want? I do think I'd probably throw it out there.
Yeah, why not?
Like, 69 available? But then you don't necessarily know. And this is somewhat of a job interview. Am I coming off as unserious?
Sure.
Or right now, Donovan Jennings might actually have the most popular number out there. 67.
67. What? Yeah.
Which one do you actually want to have? That's a good question.
Do you think is that going to pass the culture now? 6'7"? I haven't heard that in the last couple months. Like,
it might be kind of over.
Yeah,
it might be kind of over. I'm not positive, but it might be.
I always thought of the 70s going to tackles and the 60s going to interior linemen. Is that true, or is that just my imagination?
I think you might be overthinking it a little bit there. Yeah, but I definitely, the more athletic guys want to rock the 70s or the 50s. 50 is a sweet number that Zach Tom gets to rock over there at right tackle. So there's a lot of different ways that you can go about it.
Yeah. I thought it was a center number because Frank Winters used to have it, 52. But then it became,
then it becomes a pass rusher number.
Pass rusher number. Yes, sir. So
that's why you can't be locking people in positions into numbers.
That's right.
That's why you need to have positional versatility.
I see what you did.
And go up and down the scale of it. 877-794-1973. Our friend is checking in from Wyoming. Tim, morning, boys. Checking in from Wyoming for the 5 o'clock club. Technically the 4 o'clock club for him in the Mountain Time. Last time Miz pitched on Friday. Was in Denver, and he pitched great. Now, I'll have to check the notes, and I'll have to check my timing on it. Was I wrong? I thought he pitched first game of the Braves series, and that would have also been on Friday. And again, he pitched. The tough thing is Miz pitched well to start out the Braves series.
He did.
He went 6 innings, gave up 2 earned runs on 91 pitches, and struck out 7. Albeit he gave up 6 base runners, which was the surprising thing for most folks.
It's just unusual for him because he's been so incredible that
that's a tough bar to set for yourself.
It's very tough standard, but that's the reality of it. So when he does anything except strike out everybody, everyone's like, what's wrong? Something wrong with this guy? Yes, listen, no matter how good you are, Miz is one of the best, if not the best in baseball so far this year. You will give up hits. You will give up runs. That's the reality of baseball. And fans sometimes have a hard time because these guys are machines. It's incredible. These guys are machines. So, not really sure. Not sure if Miz is last. Did you were able to get that? The fact is, I think Tim is trying to let everyone know that, a little blue collar mentality. Like, he's not running from the grind at all. Like, he's actually one of the real ones because he's in the 4 o'clock club.
No,
like, you guys got to get
Tim
up at 5.
Tim is working, dude.
I get up at 4. I'm in
Tim
Wyoming.
Is up.
And when I think Wyoming, I think cattle ranching, some sort of like mountain bike. I think is some sort of tough.
Wait, you don't think it's a tech
cowboy
job?
Man activity? I don't think of it. I don't
You
think
don't
he's
think of a Silicon Valley high-rise tech job? That makes sense.
I don't think he's going to do finance bro stuff in Lululemon.
Tim might be a real live cowboy. There's going to be a real life cowboy tonight over at Summerfest. Cody Johnson.
Yeah.
Cody Johnson looks like a cowboy.
What's up? Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of cowboy hats and parties going on down at Summerfest. Yeah. Now, I had a friend of mine ask me yesterday, should I not go to Summerfest tomorrow night because there's going to be too many Cubs fans? It's like, no, I think they're going to be a few miles away.
Yeah,
and during the day, maybe they'll be milling around, and maybe on Saturday, general milling around before the 6:10 first pitch at American Family Field. You might find some folks there. But instead, I think that's going to be a one-stop shop. They're driving up to watch the Brewers take on the Cubs and hopefully whoop that around American Family Field and drive back home with an L.
That's our goal. Yeah, I don't think that they're going to be at Summerfest. In fact, if you want to avoid Cubs fans, Summerfest is probably the spot to go. But I would never tell someone not to go to the Brewers game because of that. That's part of our problem, Billy, is we're avoiding that series as Brewers fans because we're afraid of
I think very much so.
But this is our time to give the smoke. As Will D put on YouTube, Counsell's only won one series against the Brewers since becoming coach for the Cubs. Manager, yeah. Yeah, that's the point. Like, we have been the big bad brother in this series recently. To your point, Billy, you could argue since 2018. Ever since we ended their fake dynasty with game 163, we've really controlled it, and we should be the ones telling them about it. Now, we started doing that last year when we won that playoff series and gave them the L flag. I loved it. I know Cubs fans for a long time wanted to make fun of it, wanted to say we were upset.
Some thought that it was a curse that the Brewers put on themselves and put on Wisconsin sports fans of throwing the L flag out there.
Yeah, I think the curse is more the Shohei Ohtani, Yamamoto, Blake Snell, that type of curse, maybe. But
torn ACLs.
Yeah, maybe that. But I think we should be leaning into it more as like, we're the big bad brother. You should be scared of us. We're the ones that are knocking you around the block a little bit. We've been doing it. You can't beat us. We're in your head. We are your daddy. Like, we have to remind Cubs fans we're their daddy. Like, that's my point in this situation. And we're not doing that enough. Because Cubs fans, when they were winning a lot of series against the Brewers, wanted to let you know, I'm your daddy. But they haven't been our daddy. We've been daddying them. So then, therefore, we should act like it and remind them. So to Will's point, I think these stats, these facts are important. I'm going to say facts, not stats. These facts are important. Counsell has only won one series against the Brewers since becoming the manager of the Cubs. We have been better, and I believe we'll continue to be better.
Yeah, and the manager that's in the Brewers dugout while nursing a bad back, which hopefully got rectified yesterday during the off day. He was having a ruptured disc procedure yesterday.
How about that?
My man's going to be back on the perch coming up here today. But as one back-to-back manager of the year's back-to-back divisions, and the train hasn't necessarily stopped rolling here. I see Eddie in Dallas saying Craig's going to get canned after the Brewers sweep this series. I don't believe that's going to be the case. I believe, though, the disappointment in the return on investment is kind of creeping in on some Cubs fans, though. I think there are many Cubs fans that are asking with the palms up saying, $8 million for this. This is what we're getting. Now, he can't keep Edward Cabrera off of the IL. Can't figure out a way to fix Cade Orton's elbow without a Tommy John surgery and missing a bunch of time. But that's the sport. You're going to miss a lot of time. And that was one of the reasons why the thought was Counsell comes down with some magic pixie dust and you did so much more with so much less for so many years. Why can't you do so much more with even more resources?
Yeah.
Well, ask David Stearns. It just isn't that easy. It's not as easy as you would think that way.
No, definitely not. And to Eddie's point, they've been disappointed, but I mean, if the playoffs started today, the Cubs would be a wild card team. So I don't think anybody that's going to be in the playoffs is going to get canned their midseason. Unless you never know. Maybe I'm wrong. Tim hits us back. I'm an idiot. It was Saturday night. You were right. I'm not a rancher. Haha. I'm a heavy equipment mechanic. Same thing.
It's a heavy equipment mechanic. That collar is a lot bluer, Tim, than the ones over on this side.
My thing is like, okay, I almost said Montana. My bad. I say Wyoming cattle rancher.
Some folks if you do that.
That's like the modern day cattle rancher. I mean, heavy equipment means you're doing big time man stuff, which that's blue collar manliness. It counts. It all counts together.
I think it'll count. No doubt about it.
One of those ice road truckers.
1973.
If you ever saw that show,
Derek and Whitewater Murph had to have back surgery from carrying Counsell around for years.
That's a good joke. I love that. I love that one. Everyone was looking for that carrying joke somewhere in the back of their mind. And Derek found it. Well done, Derek.
Jeffrey from Milwaukee said, fellas, I also got off today for another golf outing, but couldn't help but wake up with you boys this morning.
See, I appreciate
I
that.
think as long as Armen's gets his beautiful daughter in some Brewers gear at the park tonight, I think it's a win for Armen, indoctrinating his daughter as a Brewers fan. Great game ahead of us tonight.
Thank you. Yeah, I've been letting her know, because we have one of those baseballs in a room that has the Brewers logo and the Cubs logo. It's the rivalry ball.
For sure.
Laura thought it'd be cool to
I-94 rivalry, yeah, for sure.
But I always show the Brewer side, and I say, remember, brew, and she says Brewers. And then our logo has the ball in it, which is like obviously,
which is going to be a winner.
It's a winner for her. So I'm still hopeful. there that we're going to be doing that. And then yes, what's that, Billy?
Well, our friend Maggie just brought up something good, mentioning how much you just claimed daddy status over it. She said, Armen, I hope you didn't just jinx the Brewers.
Why? See, I think this is the problem. No Eeyores, Maggie. This is the
Can't
problem.
have it.
How many times do we have to keep winning before we can at least say we don't have to be scared of losing anymore? Does that make sense? Did I jinx us by saying no? This is a fact. We've been better than the Cubs recently, and we should embrace that to continue to exercise dominance over them.
Yeah, been for a while. And like that is a known fact that the schedule or the standings and the wins and losses have been slanted in this direction. The division titles have been slanted in this direction. And that's why last year I was outwardly confident going into the divisional round best of 5 series. Mm-hmm. Now that was a heart pumper.
No doubt. It went to 5.
It tested all of your patience and willpower and belief. But last year in the playoffs, that was maybe one of the most pro Brewer Cub crowds we've had in a long time.
Incredibly
and
so.
I think the little bit of a warning flare that was sent by the ticketing department to say, hey, if we see these things end up on secondary markets, good luck getting the pre-sale code next time. I think the little warning flares probably did help some. It obviously didn't alleviate all, but those crowds seemed 80-20 at worst. I think it'll be a little closer to 50-50. I don't think we're all kidding ourselves with that.
Yeah.
But both teams are good, and that's why both teams want to be a part of it. Jeffrey in Milwaukee, though, does have an interesting take on it. Said, what I hate that the league is done with these Brewers and Cubs series. I believe the last 3 years is that they made the Brewers home games weekend games, and the Cub home games during the week makes it much easier for Cubs fans to invade Milwaukee than us go down to Wrigley during the week, since we're hardworking people up here.
That's a good point. I mean, I haven't really
That's true.
thought
Lou
about
Elia would admit, he's like, people in Milwaukee got jobs. That's why they don't have all those day games.
Yeah, 85% of the world works. The other 15 come down here. I didn't think about that. I'm not sure if it's actually true if you went back and counted out the days of who has more home games than the weekends. Maybe that's something. It's probably random over time. These are little things but we can't worry about these little things. We have to have the attitude we're going to beat them anytime, anywhere. To Maggie's point, we're never going to beat one team all the time. The Cubs will win some games on us, but we can't have the attitude like we won 120 in a row, but I can't say anything about it because we might lose 121st. Then you're never going to be able to enjoy being better. So you got to be able to enjoy it a little bit and say, okay, we're better.
Well, that's fair.
And I believe we're better and we're the daddy. And if you come in and get one on daddy, that's fine. But we're going to get the next 10. That's the attitude you got to have.
Will this warm you up a little bit for some Caleb Williams smack talk?
I think so, and it's got to, Billy. Because this is bound to be a big year, and I'm for the smack talk when it comes to Cubs and Bears and Brewers and Packers, and I'm hoping that it all coincides with me finally getting my Twitter account back in 2 months when the season starts.
Yeah, we need that. I think Packers and Bears fans need that for the rivalry.
You know what really bothers me when it comes deep down to it? I don't want one of those dorks on the internet to think I ran from the smoke. I don't want them to think that just because they're not going to be able to tweet at me.
Yeah, I think they see Mentor V and they know that you didn't run.
Dude, my hacker's got something coming for him, though, doesn't he? If the Cubs win that game, he's going to be getting all kinds of mentions, not knowing what's going on.
He will get inundated and be like, what happened here?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get any Caleb clapback yesterday. Caleb Williams' attempt to trademark Iceman. Reportedly, at least temporarily, has been given the boot on the trademark. The United States Patent and Trademark Office initially refused the Bears quarterback application for Iceman as of Wednesday, according to some records. Not because NBA Hall of Famer George Gervin grabbed it, or
great player,
UFC Hall of Famer Chuck Liddell also coined Iceman.
Of course.
Not because either of them have it, but instead USPTO. Got to make sure we get the full acronym in there, Armen. Saw too much similarity and a likelihood of confusion in a trademark filed in 1988 by Lacrosse Footwear for insulated boots.
Let's go. They didn't know how they were helping us out years later.
Folks in lacrosse back in the 80s didn't realize how much you were helping us today.
I better get a pair of them damn boots just to support them if they still make them.
We're going to check them. We're going to try to find out for you. 877-794-1973.
I don't use boots. I don't work boots. Or these like the steel toe boots or like snow boots.
I don't know. It said insulated boots. I'm thinking they're just winter boots.
Oh, I'll take that then. Never mind. I thought this was like steel toe work boots and stuff.
Well, either one of those boots, Tricia Whitaker has been known to rock a pair of boots. Also be able to eat a pocket pancake fresh out of the manager's pocket.
All facts.
Also was the proud owner of a turtle earlier on this year for all of, I think, 13 hours. Thanks to the Milwaukee Brewers. What does Tricia Whitaker have in store for herself coming up tonight as she is on the sidelines for Apple TV's broadcast of Brewers and Cubs? She'll discuss it coming up with our friend Hunter Baumgardt, as both of them will be here huddling up with us on the other side. Brewers and Cubs on Apple TV tonight. One of the people and parts of that broadcast, Tricia Whitaker, IU alum and lover of the Indiana Hoosiers, likes the Milwaukee Brewers, and she'll discuss that coming up next and preview this series with all of you on the NicoletLaw.com talking text line 877-794-1973. That's Armen. I'm Billy. It's the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. 877-794-1973. The NicoletLaw.com talking text line. That's going to be the number to call later on in the program when we give you the cue to call to win a 4-pack of tickets to Festa Italiana, night number 2 of weekend number 2 going down at Summerfest coming up tonight. Cody Johnson on the main stage, bunch of great headliners. Go and see our friend Drew Olson down there. He's going to be celebrating, partying it up. He'll be rejoining the Huddle Up on Monday morning. Armen Sarian's right there. I'm Billy Schmid. And now hanging out with us on YouTube and X, as well as Facebook still, is Tricia Whitaker of Apple TV fame, along with our friend Hunter Baumgardt. Hunter's baseball coverage is always brought to you by Import Minded and the Brewers tonight on Apple TV. Hunter chatted and caught up with our friend Tricia Whitaker of Apple TV, sideline reporter for the game this evening. That conversation right now.
Tricia, how are you?
I'm so good. I'm so excited for this game. I had this game circled because, like, you know, I grew up a Cubs fan and I grew up in the Midwest. And so when I saw, I know how big the Cubs Brewers rivalry is, obviously Cardinals, Cubs too, but I was so excited for this one.
Yeah, and the cherry on top is that Mizorowski lines up to pitch this game. I mean, it is going to be awesome. It's the series opener. First time the Cubs have been back at American Family Field since, of course, Game 5 of the NLDS last year. So, yeah, I mean, obviously you're around a lot of ballparks. You're around a lot of teams. What is kind of the national perspective of the Brewers so far as they sit here coming into this weekend series?
Just that they're really, really good, right? They do everything really well. And they're led by an elite manager in Pat Murphy, who obviously creates a really good culture, but also is just a really good baseball guy. I think obviously Jacob Mizorowski has been unbelievable. And I think his story is wild. Just looking back to last season when everybody was complaining about him being an all-star. And then he goes out this year and he's like, no, I'm going to show you why I am one. Now he's a front runner for the Cy Young. Like, talk about a comeback tour. Let's go. Right. I love that. And then, you know, they've just handled everything so well this season. And when you really look at it, despite their really good record, the rotation, right, it kind of was a game of musical chairs for a little bit because of the injuries. So the fact that they were able to withstand that, and I think this team is all around a really, really good team. And I think the division is theirs to lose.
Hey, when you're the division champs 3 years in a row, it's hard not to feel that way. Talking about Jacob Mizorowski, just what he's done this season, obviously, like you said, it's just been unbelievable. We being up close and personal to it all season. It's just every start. It's like from pitch 1 to the very last pitch, you want to be locked in because you don't know if that's going to be the fastest pitch ever thrown by a starter. So right. I mean, it's wild. He's hitting, just that game against the Phillies, obviously, is the one that sticks in our minds, the complete game where it's like he comes into the game, the fastest pitch thrown by a starter in the StatCast era since 2008 is 103.7. Coming into that game, he hits that in the 9th inning. Just absolutely incredible. What has impressed you the most? Obviously, the velocity is there, but this is, he just turned 1 year, 1 year old in the big league, so to speak. About a year ago, he made his major league debut. What's impressed you the most?
What was it at 104.2? Is that what it was that he hit?
0.5. I think he's at 104.5.
Oh my God, that's insane. I remember seeing that during, I think it was it on a Friday? I don't know. I remember seeing it and I was in the middle of the Apple broadcast and I did a double take because I was like, I think I read this wrong just because I'm distracted by doing the broadcast. And then I look back and I'm like, holy crap, I did not read this wrong. That's insane. That's wild. He does everything so well. I mean, you mentioned it. The overpowering velocity is insane. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. You've heard guys around the big leagues talk about how it's the best fastball they've ever seen in their entire career, even veterans saying that. And that just kind of goes to show you what an overpowering presence he has on the mound. And then the other thing a lot of people talk about with him is his elite extension, right? Obviously he's 6'7", he's incredibly long, and that extension he has is just unreal. I'm not saying he is exactly like Tyler Glasnow or anything, but his extension and his length reminds me a little bit of watching Glasnow when I was with the Rays. His repertoire is insane. Obviously you talked about his fastball, which is his highest used pitch, right? But then he's got other things that he can use too. And I think the efficiency too stands out for me. What was that performance he had when he had 15 strike, something like that on 90 pitches?
95 pitches, 15 strikeouts, 95 pitches, 9 innings.
It's insane. Yeah. See, I was told there would be no math. I tell storylines. It's hard sometimes for me to remember numbers to the T, but I did remember, that just being like, I was like, holy crap, that's efficient. Right. So I think he's just the total package. And, I'm just really, really excited I've never watched him pitch in person before.
Okay, I was going to ask you if you had before.
No,
okay.
I haven't. And I'm so excited to watch him pitch in person. I'm hoping he throws like a ridiculous game, like, another complete game shutout or something, so that he can be the star of the game interview afterwards, because I've never interviewed him before. But I just think what he has done for the Brewers is unbelievable this season. And it's been really good, I think, for baseball too, to see that.
It's interesting. I was talking with one of the radio broadcasters for the Brewers, Lane Grindle, recently, and it was right after that start against the Phillies. And he basically said, he's like, you can go back to a start by Jacob Mizorowski, and you can go back and see which at-bats matter the most, because you can see his velocity tick up in those at-bats. It's like he saves it.
Reaches back for a little bit more.
Yes. And you can tell, like, okay, the fifth inning, there was a runner on. Okay, I mean, rarely there's a runner on, but if there's a runner on,
that's probably something that not enough people are talking about, right? Because everybody wants to talk about his overpowering velocity, obviously his extension on the mound, all that stuff. But let's talk about his awareness in the middle of an at-bat like that, right? The fact that he can be like, all right, I got to reach back for a little bit more, which to, the normal person seems like, okay, obviously you're going to, well, no, not obviously. Like a lot of times that is hard for guys to learn at like a young age, or really not even just at a young age. There are veterans who are terrible at that. So that is something that I feel like we're not talking about enough with him.
Absolutely. Tricia Whitaker from Apple TV joining us. She'll be on the call as the reporter coming up Friday night as the Brewers take on the Cubs. And, it has been sensational to watch him throughout this year. I have a feeling maybe the velocity ticks up, maybe just a little more because they're playing the Cubs. I'm sure the crowd will be exceptional coming up on Friday night. Where do you see this Brewers-Cubs rivalry? You mentioned, obviously, it's an important rivalry. Obviously, it was made a little bit more important when Craig Counsell went from Milwaukee to Chicago, and I think it reinvigorated the rivalry, and these two have been battling in the NL Central the last couple of years. But in the grand scheme, because obviously you have a national perspective of Major League Baseball, where does it sit right now in rivalries in baseball?
I don't think we talk about this rivalry enough. I think we talk about a lot of rivalries in baseball, but I'm probably a little biased just because I grew up in the Midwest. But for me in the Midwest, when I think of baseball rivalries, I think of Cubs Brewers, but I also think of Cubs Cardinals, right? And then sometimes you would think of Cubs White Sox, but before this year, that wasn't a rivalry at all. I mean, in the recent years, before they hated each other, right? But I love this rivalry. And I think the postseason last year obviously added a little bit of fire to it, which I love. And, then obviously the irony of Craig Counsell going to the Cubs and Pat Murphy taking over with the Brewers, right? It's really interesting. But I mean, right now the Brewers completely own 2026, and obviously in 2025 got the best of them. So like that, I think if you're talking about rivalry this specific year, I think it's a rivalry because of the history.
Yeah.
I don't think it's necessarily like, I don't think the whole baseball world this year is pointing to this matchup and being like, oh, like, huge rivalry game happening here. Like, yes, it is a rivalry game, but like the Brewers, they kind of handed it to them this season so far. And then obviously the postseason.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on the Cubs season as a whole? Obviously, we pay attention. I think Brewers fans probably pay attention to the Cubs more than any other team. When they're looking at the scores on their phone, the Cubs score is probably at the top other than the Brewers score. So what obviously they're pitching and they continue to have more and more pitching injuries. But what has kind of been your perspective on the Cubs so far this year?
I think the Cubs are good, but gosh, brutal starting rotation blows, right? With injury. I mean, that's just how do you get through some of that? That's really, really hard. But I think obviously to start the season, the Cubs were just like, I mean, I know that they've had some really bad losing streaks. I know that, but they've also had some incredible winning streaks. I think if they were at full strength, this would be a totally different conversation. And I think the Brewers Cubs rivalry game this Friday would be a totally different conversation. Now you still look at it and they're only like 7.5 games behind the Brewers, right? It's a long season. It's an incredibly long season, but those starting rotation blows are really, really going to hurt them. It's been really fun watching Pete Crow Armstrong this year, just having a massive breakout campaign and seeing what he's able to do, hitting for the cycle. The other day, I know what happened right after he hit for the cycle. Obviously, not a great moment there, but it's been really fun to watch that. Right? They have elite on base ability, which has been great, and I think I do think though when you talk about, the Cubs desperately need to go out and get somebody to bolster their rotation, right? They desperately need that. And if they don't do that, you're looking at a really tough road for them when it comes to September and October. You can't win those games without you just can't. You cannot. There's only one version of the Tampa Bay Rays. And honestly, we've seen what happens to them in the postseason, right? They have an insane regular season. And they put together this team just kind of it's just kind of all over the place, right? And I think with the Cubs, if they don't go out and get somebody, I think that's going to make their destiny this season just a lot more tough. That's at least what I see when I look at the Cubs right now.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. The National League as a whole, I wanted to ask you about, because you've got obviously the Dodgers. Braves have had a really good start to the season. As of late, they haven't been maybe as good, but they've still got the great record. Brewers right there as well. Wow, how do you see this National League? And then, of course, the Phillies have played a lot better in the last couple of months than they did in the first month of the season. So where do you kind of see this National League? It's hard to say anything but, everybody's chasing the Dodgers, but where do you see this National League right now?
Yeah, I think it's interesting you bring up the Phillies too, because the Phillies were one of our first games on Apple TV this season. It was maybe like 3 weeks into the season, and that's when they were just like, you're sitting there and you're like, oh my God, is this really happening? This team is really that bad. And now what are they, like 5.5 games, 6 games back? Something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
That's insane to me, right? Obviously you have the Braves and they're just unbelievable right now. You have the Dodgers, which are just a powerhouse. But, when I look at the National League, obviously you think of those teams first, right? But I know people are going to be like, oh, like you love the Brewers, you have a great relationship with Pat Murphy. Of course, you're going to say this, but I really do like the Brewers. Like when you got a guy like Miz on the mound and you have the offense that they have, and you have, kind of all the pieces that they've got. I think when you look at what they have, that's a really good recipe for the postseason, and that's a really good recipe for September. And I'm not saying that it's an easy path. Obviously, the Dodgers are ridiculous, and the Braves are really good. But I'm looking at the comparison in their record right now between the Brewers and the Braves. What in the world? The Brewers technically have a better record than the Braves, technically, right? So I think the Brewers being a small market means not a lot of people talk about them when it comes to powerhouses in baseball. But this year, right now, you can't say that they're not a powerhouse in the NL. You cannot say that. And you shouldn't say that, because they're going to prove you wrong late in the season and when October rolls around. So that's kind of how I view the National League right now. I also think the Phillies, I feel like every year we're talking about them having some of that magic at the end of the season, and then obviously their magic in October. So don't count them out either.
Have you been surprised by the Cardinals being able to sustain this? Like a lot of us kind of here in Milwaukee were like, yeah, okay, they started the year off good, but they're still kind of working their way back. They've been able to stay above 7-8 games above 500 now, well into June. We're almost to July.
Oh my gosh, it's insane. I just had the Cardinals on Friday in Kansas City, and I was really, really impressed by them. The Royals won that game, but I interviewed JJ Weatherholt, and I was just wildly impressed by his maturity. And I think they have a really, really good group. And I think one of the ways they put it when I was talking to them, when I was in the manager meeting with Ollie Marmol, is they're kind of playing with house money. Everybody came into the season being like, the Cardinals are going to be really bad. They're going to be really bad. And they're like, okay, cool. You can say that. Look at us now. Right. And they're not really bad. They're actually very, very good. And, just talking to, I remember I saw Chaim Bloom on my way into the stadium, and I looked at him and I go, man, you guys are doing great. I know him from my time with the Tampa Bay Rays. And he looked at me, he goes, well, Trish, we haven't done anything yet. And I'm like, oh, damn, you guys really have this mentality. Like you knew you were going to be good and the rest of us were just living under a rock. Right. So I love that. And I love their mentality and their kind of house money mindset right now. Because they're not really playing with a ton of pressure because they're kind of the underdogs. And I think there's something to be said for that. But no, I've been wildly impressed with the Cardinals. And again, being a Midwest girl, the Cardinals are only like 3.5 hours from my house. I'm always going to pull for the Midwest teams. I'm so biased. I'm like anything with the Reds, the Cardinals, the Cubs, and the Brewers. Take down all those other powerhouse franchises like the Dodgers and Phillies. Let's go.
I love it. Us Midwest people stick together. That's what we do. And I love that you're able to get to Milwaukee this weekend for this great, because some of the best atmospheres in the last few years in Milwaukee have been when the Brewers and Cubs have matched up, and Mizorowski being on the mound on Friday night.
I remember watching, and this isn't like a great atmosphere story, but when I was like working in Green Bay, Wisconsin at WBAY, we would go to Cubs Brewers games as fans sometimes. And I remember I was so poor, I made no money. So I had to sit in the 300 level, like nosebleeds or whatever. And I mean, those fans, you want to talk about rowdy. You get a bunch of Midwesterners in the 300 level for like, beer night where it's only $5. You're going to see some things. And I saw some things, but I loved it. It was awesome.
Yeah, there is no doubt. There is just a different atmosphere and a different energy when it comes to the ballpark when the Brewers and Cubs get together. And so, yeah, this weekend, Mizorowski on the mound on Friday, then Kyle Harrison, who's been exceptional as well. He'll be on the mound Saturday, and Brandon Woodruff on Sunday. So Brewers have kind of their horses going against the Cubs this weekend. Tricia, I really appreciate the time. As always, we'll look forward to the broadcast on Friday night on Apple TV. That's how everybody, Brewers fans, take note. That's how you can watch the game on Friday night between the Brewers and the Cubs and see what Jacob Mizorowski does this time. Thanks, Tricia.
Anytime.
Tricia Whitaker hanging out with us and Hunter Baumgardt from Apple TV. They'll be on the call tonight. She will be as well. Self-proclaimed Cub fan earlier in her life.
Now she's a Midwest baseball fan.
Baseball fan.
She was up in the terrace level throwing them things back, throwing some $5.
Gracious.
We know what she meant. We know she meant terrace, not club level. We know what she meant.
Well, I've been known to enjoy the club level.
Oh yeah, but she meant the cheap seats.
I think she was meaning. I think she was meaning the 400s. But
now she can get a club seat. Yeah.
Well, and listen, Brewers game is still one of the more affordable times out. A lot of folks can still find ways to be able to sit in those seats. Coming up, the next Friday home game will be one of those Wisconsin Fridays where you'll get 50% off. That's one that you want to hunt into that club level. Nice. But we appreciate Hunter. We appreciate Tricia as well, and really appreciate, most importantly, Armen, Import Minded, who always brings us Hunter's baseball pieces and always great coverage. Thanks to Import Minded being able to bring us and bring Hunter and bring you exceptional vehicle care on South 27th Street, just north of 894. Your trusted source, Import Minded. Your source for some Festa Italiana's tickets. 1 4-pack going to be this radio program before we get out of here at 8 o'clock. We got more on Brewers and Cubs. We got more Jacob Mizorowski. We have the throat shot heard around the W to discuss. What?
No, I think I know what you're talking about. We're going to talk about that. Maybe that'll be good for who's hot and who's not. I thought about that. If we want to do that next.
There might be a superhero of the day coming up as well. Call current.com that you will get into as well. And you can join us as always, 877-794-1973. Armen Sarian's right there. I'm Billy Schmidt. It is the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Huddled up on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin, 920 a.m. in Milwaukee, 1070 a.m. Madison. Good morning and happy Friday as we creep closer to 7 o'clock. Time for a hero of the day with Current Electric. Callcurrent.com. That's callcurrent.com. Make sure all of your electrical devices, boarding, lighting packages on the outside, the exterior of your home, as well as maybe the solar panel installation on the inside. Make sure everything's up to code.
Yeah.
Callcurrent.com. Going to have everything lined up for you, and they can help you out with one of those outdoor lighting packages. EV chargers. If you're saying, you know what I'm sick and tired of doing is pumping gas into my car, and you're looking at some of these electrical vehicles, you need an EV charger, and Current Electric can be the place that helps you out with that. And I've been telling you now for a while about the solar panel installation, how your roof can be making you some money. Doing the thing and trying to figure out exactly if my roof can make me some money. Get a lot of sunlight. Might as well try to repurpose some of that.
Why not?
And find a way to do it. Callcurrent.com can be the place, and the superheroes at Current Electric can give you all of those answers. Armen, I'm racking my brain for a superhero of the day. In all reality, I think it is lacrosse boots.
Yes, it is. I've been on their site now for 20 minutes looking at boots.
That makes two of us because
my feet are always cold, and they're telling me about these boots. I didn't know. I was unfamiliar with their game.
Totally unfamiliar with the lacrosse boots game. Chris in Lodi sent us a picture of his Iceman boots.
Yeah, and I
bought them years ago when
ago.
I ran stores for Gander Mountain. Dave in Oregon. Lacrosse Icemans are enormous PAC boots. Bought mine in the early 90s and still wear them for ice fishing. Derek in Whitewater. Oof. They still make them, and I used to have a pair, but now I stepped up to the Ice King.
Well, I guess
went from Iceman to Ice King.
Derek. You're the king.
I'm figuring out exactly which Iceman boots might be best suited for your boy, because I want to be suited and booted.
I agree, Billy.
And we've been talking about potentially going out deer hunting for a while. And by you and I going out deer hunting, it was us doing the show from someone's deer camp.
That's all it was. I wasn't actually going to be up on the thing.
Firing up the Blackstone and making sure the pancakes were on the griddle when everybody came back in with more venison.
Yeah, eating breakfast. I agree.
So,
but we could use some boots while we're doing it.
We're going to do it. We might as well have some Iceman boots.
Oh, that's our hero of the day. I like that.
These boots are made for fishing, and that's just what they're going to do. Fishing and casting L's all over you, Caleb Williams. I love the fact that Iceman Boots and Lacrosse was still able to say, hold my heel. We got a steel toe for you and kick you right back down towards Chicago. We got one more hour for you. We got one more 4-pack of Festa Italiana tickets to give away. We got Who's Hot, Who's Not. We got 877-794-1973 open for you on the Huddle. He's Armen. I'm Billy. One more hour to play on a beautiful Friday in the good land.
I'm Doug Russell. We start in L.A. at the World Cup. It was a game that in the grand scheme of things didn't mean much, but don't tell that to Turkey.
And it's not over yet. Turkey is going to have a throw in here. It's into Arda, their big star. Pulisic, the USA's big star, gets nutmegs. Chance for a cross, comes back to the top of the box. Now it's clipped in at the backside. Matt Turner, it's stopped home. Turkey score the winning goal in the 98th minute.
As heard last night right here on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin, the final score 3-2. Turkey with the last second winner. They're done, though. Team USA had already clinched moving on to the knockout round. They'll take on Bosnia and Herzegovina coming up on Wednesday at 7 o'clock. To baseball, the Brewers were off on Thursday. They're back home tonight to open up a 3-game weekend series against the Cubs. Jacob Mizorowski pitches against former Brewer Colin Ray. The final hour of the Huddle starts now. I'm Doug Russell on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Good morning, Wisconsin, and welcome to the Huddle.
I'm all for someone huddling if you have something to say.
It's time to wake up and talk about the teams you love.
Everybody wake up! Everybody wake
with the guys you love.
It's just about getting the group together. I need you, you need me today. Let's keep touching each other. Let's make sure we feel each other. Let's make sure we smell each other's breath.
Watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and X.
You need 15 or 20 huddles to correlate with the number of cameras. Take the cameras off the field, and there'll be no huddles.
Now gather around because it's time to huddle up.
West left slot, 323 wide stick on one. Ready, Bill for blitz. If it looks like man coverage, I'll check. I'll go 200 get. You got to cut and crack. Now cut and crack. Red right 18 Bob on one. Ready, cut him and crack.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here, and try to run this play in the alley.
We know exactly what we got to do. All right? That's all the ball y'all do. Let's go out and kick the tape. Come right. 1, 2, 3. Keep doing what you're doing. Sit our guys after and make the play. Be right, all the way outside. Wide, left, fake, 396 bag, B hand, C puck. Is that long enough for you?
I want you to be proud of your profession. It's a great profession. Go out there and play this ball game like I know you can play it.
With Drew Olson,
mythical, legendary figure.
Bill Schmid.
Oh, my God. This man's been out all night.
And Armen Sarian.
This is it. Don't get scared now.
Sanchez, we ready?
Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin is on the air.
On the hour, on the air, on your radio, rolling with you today. 7 o'clock hour of the Huddle is live. I'm Billy Schmid. That is Armen Sarian. Rocking his Brewer crew neck as he's ready to roll down to American Family Field and be one of the 40,000 plus in the stands tonight to watch Brewers and Cubs game 1 of 3. Going to be on Apple TV 6:45. Jacob Mizorowski throws the first pitch here tonight in a series where the Brewers have a 6.5 game lead over the Cubbies, but it's never enough. Never have a big enough lead against that team. And most importantly, Armen, because it's fun to know, and listen, we remember, and we sadly learned too much and kicked off this calendar year blowing leads to Chicago. We've been the team that's chased down them and had the Cubs blow some leads against the Brewers. You realize that no lead is necessarily safe in a 162 sprint. I still think both of these teams are going to go back and forth. I would not be surprised if first place moves back and forth a little bit at some particular point, because I think both of these teams are in the 90-plus win range variety. Brewers, as you asked Hunter yesterday when he was joining us, might be on a 100-win. They're on a 100-win pace. They might be in that tier. But tonight is we've seen the NL Central starting to separate. These are the two teams that everybody anticipated would separate themselves. And not quite moving day like it is on a major, but we're getting dang close to figuring out where your positioning is going to be as we're 2.5 weeks away from that All-Star.
Yeah, approaching the All-Star weekend, approaching Independence Day, as you know, Billy, the water does start to find its level after Flag Day, and you brought it up earlier in the show that right away that water is finding its level now in the National League Central, and to what we thought probably going to end up being a 2-horse race between us and the Cubs, which makes series like this always important. And it's been the herky-jerky nature of the NL Central so far, with the Cubs having the massive start, then having their fall off, and then the Brewers doing their thing and going on the tear already with 49 wins. So to your point, and I've thought this all the way through, there's going to be times when each horse is going to make their run, but if the Brewers can stay in the lead, that'd be a good thing. And hopefully cross the Rubicon of the desert, of the 6-month desert that is the regular season in Major League Baseball. So it's going to be a fantastic Friday in the greatest state in the union here, America's Dairyland, for Brewers, for everything else, for some great weather popping up, as you know. And you're right, Billy. This is a time when
I love that. It is the greatest state in the union.
Number one.
I'm glad you threw that in
now.
there. Thank you very much.
Stand up. Yeah, Wisconsin. Now, the thing is, Billy, and to your point, yeah, we have been, unfortunately, the team blowing the leads. You know, it's about Packers, Bears to that to that market, to that group, to that state. So let's flip that around. It's time for those guys to be doing the blowing. All right, let's go. All right, let's make it happen. So let's start it off with a big win.
Yeah, and a big time pause. And I also think like there was a correct me if I'm wrong, there was a huge lead the Bucks had on the Bulls in middle of February. Like,
you know,
when the Bucks were somewhat in the race still, there was a ridiculously big fourth quarter blown lead, maybe like a historic fashion blown lead.
I thought you were
against the Bulls coming up this year. Like, it's not been great.
I thought you were referencing divisions in basketball, of which the most astute among us cannot name. I don't know anyone can name the NBA. Maybe you can, actually. I shouldn't put that aside. The NBA divisions, like, they still exist for some reason.
Yes.
I think there's like a Northwest.
I think you got a better chance of naming the teams in each division than what the divisions are actually called.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's crazy, but I thought that's what you're referencing for a second.
No,
the Bucks did blow a lead to the Bulls at some point.
Right. It was somewhere in that was a singular game. Yes, in series runs has not necessarily changed that. The Bucks have dominated on those. That might be a little bit difficult to dominate going forward. However, yesterday I thought the press conference was good. Braden Burries, Nate Amen were introduced in front of the Boys and Girls Club yesterday.
Looking like the same guy, by the way. I mean, they look like the same exact guy.
Because they're wearing the same polo. That's why. That's why.
They look similar. There's nothing wrong with saying that.
They both got the same cool hairdo rocking in.
That kind of, it's popular now, that kind of cabbage look.
Yes.
You know, high cabbage and stuff like that. Similar, like, height, I'd say. Similar gait and body type.
Yeah.
Both young, athletic, lean wings and like, but one's bit taller than the other one.
I was gonna say body size. I think I'm gonna have to hold on that. One's 6'4", 210. One's 6'10", 210.
Well, one's a lot taller, obviously, but because they're sitting, you don't notice it. But I guess what I mean, like, it isn't like one has like a noticeably different upper body than the other one.
Well, I'll tell you this: they both
their bodies,
and they both have really, really firm heads on their shoulders. Like, you can just tell listening to the bits and pieces that you got to hear. We're both raised right and come from places where they understand the work's not done. It's all but starting. And one of the pieces that was making the rounds yesterday was Nate Amen talking about Taylor Jenkins in the pre-draft interview, showing while everybody in these interview process, you wonder at the NFL combine, the NBA combine, MLB was just doing their combine. Did you know that was the thing, Armen?
I didn't know they had a combine.
Like a 3-day combine.
I mean, I didn't no idea.
Should have known. But when you sit down with these guys for 15, 20 minutes, talk about this in Indianapolis, what can you actually be gathering in here? What makes your interview different than the one that they're doing with 15 other teams in a small shoebox of a room? Well, Nate Amen and Braden Burries both had a similar story. Taylor Jenkins, new Bucks head coach, had a little something different for him in that pre-draft interview.
I'm going through the whole pre-draft process and meeting with the Bucks organization, and what I love most about Coach is while I sat down for my interview, he had a low light tape of me of my 5 worst plays in college, and I think that's super important. I think that's, as a player who has a lot of room to grow, it's important to have a coach who sees that in you, but also, like, talking to him, it's never really been about anything but basketball. So for me, I just want to surround myself with people who are basketball junkies and want to stay in the gym and want to get better every day. And I think I found that in Coach Jenkins.
He did the same thing with me in Chicago. He was the only coach that did it. But, like, that just shows, like, how much he cares for you and how much he wants to see you grow. And he honestly reminds me a lot of my coach from college, Coach Lloyd, where, like, he's a player's coach. You know, he wants to continue to learn as a coach from his players and see what they see on the floor. And I feel like he really cares for you not only as a basketball player, but as a human being.
Nate Amen and then Braden Burries yesterday as they were introduced. And Taylor Jenkins had to do, like, the awkward, like, put the hand on the shoulder.
I love that.
Just so you guys know, I love you. I love you. Come on now. I love you. Reaches around Nate Amen to be able to do it to Braden Burries when he talks.
Gave him both that little shoulder shake, like letting you know I'm doing it because I love you. I love that for a couple reasons. I love the verbal and nonverbal indication of I'm going to coach you hard because I love you and I want you to be better. That's a great influence, and that's the idea that Taylor Jenkins is going to set a culture, which is very important right now. Very important with the young group to set an identity and a culture. And very important that I hear these guys that sound like they have the right makeup, Billy. And that is usually the difference a lot of times in these guys that become great. Is a lot of these guys have a lot of talent, but do they have the makeup to be humble, to be working towards success, to be about the right stuff? And Hunter and I were lucky enough to be on Mark Belling's podcast to talk about this trade. Mark, I want to give a little shout out.
You were on the Mark Belling podcast?
We were one of the top iHeart podcasts, so go listen to it. He wanted us on to talk about this trade.
Let's go. Yeah. All right.
And he brought up a really good point, obviously legendary in our market. He brought up a really good point about the Giannis situation, about the situation with the Bucks' future. Is what you're really trying to find when you draft is you're trying to find the guys that have that mental makeup and that obsessive quality that they're going to be obsessed about getting better and obsessed about working tirelessly to get better. Because a lot of the great players in history obviously had natural talent, ability, physicality, all those traits, but they also had that obsessive ability, that desire to do nothing but be obsessed with the game and get better. It's sort of like we always talk about with Jordan. I think LeBron had that to a lot of extent that doesn't get appreciated. Giannis had the famous stories about being just sleeping in the gym every night when he was young, all that stuff. I remember reading an article about Ray Allen about how he said the pursuit of truly being great is doing it alone and doing it and being lonely because you have to work by yourself 8 hours a day. So I thought that was very interesting when he said that. And I remembered that when I heard Braden and Nate talk. And I said to myself, if we have the right guys, not with just the right physical ability, but with the right makeup mentally to want to pursue greatness, then maybe you found the right guys. So
and I could see on draft night, Rich Paul represents Braden Burries. And Rich Paul of Clutch Sports, one of, if not the top NBA agent in the sport. He was kind of in the ear of Braden Burries. You could tell he was getting drafted because everybody was standing up at the table. He might not have been on the phone like Amen was at the moment, but like you could kind of read the lips of Rich Paul saying, this is the best opportunity. And what you just explained there, certain guys will understand, certain guys will think of like, all right, that just means I get to go in and rip a bunch of shots. I can go in, put it up 15, 13, 12 times a game, sometimes 20 shots a game. And I'm going to get mine and get some numbers and try to figure out exactly how I'm going to make my way in this league. And it looks like, and I more of just watching Burries play, I probably watched Arizona as much as the Badgers, right? Like if there was a team to watch last year, it was Arizona. They were phenomenal. And he always jumped off is too strong because I don't think he was trying to do anything out of the flow of the game, out of the rhythm of the game. It appeared whenever you watched him and whenever you've watched little cut-ups throughout since they took him on Tuesday night, he makes winning plays, smart, not trying to do too much out of what is asked of him there. And Ament, I thought, was pretty open yesterday as well, saying like, one of the reasons why I played the way I did was because that was how we were supposed to play. We had two bigs. I was supposed to be attacking the cup as much as possible. Did I do an exceptional job of it? Probably not as well as I need to, and the efficiency will go up. I thought he has been very impressive in the post-draft process. Nate Amen, who at certain times it seemed like was going to go higher. Maybe that's the humbling, like you just mentioned. AJ DeBonsta at every twist and turn, you're seeing videos of him and Peterson talking about how it was DeBonsta, Peterson, and Ament coming out of high school as like the three top guys.
Absolutely.
Two of them go 1-2 and the other one goes 13.
Right.
So like the fire inside can only be quantified by how it gets presented to the public and what you do with it. But I'm with you. I think both of the young men are primed to have good years to start, but the foundation for a good career, because they're going to get a ton of opportunity. But it also feels like for the first time in a couple of years, you've got a forward-thinking head coach that's more worried about the player development and the guys in that building than, what kind of golf simulator they're going to put into the practice facility.
Yeah, that wasn't good when these stories come out. Yeah, but I totally agree, Billy. And these two guys, that the Bucs drafted, I wouldn't call them projects, but you're investing for the long term.
I'd call Armen a project.
Well,
that is a project at 13.
In the sense that you are investing for not what they're going to do the first 20 games of next year, where we've been so accustomed to saying we need help now, we got a window and all this. The Bucs are establishing a foundation where they're trying to be good years down the road. And for these two guys, can they establish an identity and a career and a place in this league and an improvement level where they become great players in a few years? That's the goal. So it's gonna be a time investment. Yeah, I guess it's a little bit of a thing. Are you getting used to seeing the old girlfriend with the ex with his new one? Like I the videos of Giannis with Bam and stuff like that. And
I missed another one. Was there one after the Aces game?
I think that wasn't the main one, that they were like walking in together or something like that. I don't know. It's just, I'm not going to say it's affecting me, Billy, but I mean, it's kind of weird to see.
I just turn on some Olivia Rodrigo.
Thank you.
Is that
thank you next or no?
I was just going to say good for you.
That's Ariana. Yeah, good for you. Okay, I like that.
That's good for you. Go and enjoy it. Now, some folks say GFY and that stands for something else.
Yeah.
I think it generally is good for you. Like, I'm happy for you. Enjoy it. Hope it's everything you dream it is. I personally don't think it will be.
Yeah.
But I am, again, on a personal level, this personal satisfaction, the career that you always wanted, I hope it all comes to Giannis.
And take your cat.
In terms of team success, I wish nothing but the worst on the Miami Heat.
For the worst. And you're totally right. And I think it's more like that, take your cap and leave my sweater. We've got nothing left to weather. It's over. But you'll think of me. And I think Giannis will. In fact, he's already commenting on the post about people leaving flowers at his
Yeah, he's not dead.
Which is true.
I also saw there's some nice memorabilia that people are leaving there.
Yeah, well,
like if you're leaving your jersey,
took the Noma. I'll just say it.
If you're leaving the jersey though, just know someone's going to be wearing that jersey. So it was a nice donation of you, because I don't know what they're going to do with it.
That's actually a good question.
Like I don't know what they're going to do with all the stuff. And at some point,
I don't know who decides. The owner of the building, it's his property. I mean, could they just do what they want with it? You probably don't.
Is it now found property? Like possession is 9/10 of the law. Is that correct?
If you put a jersey on my lawn, I'm grabbing it. It's my property now, right? Because I'm just saying, okay, I don't know. The Jesus
it's
scandal
here.
Was funny.
Sorry, yeah. I'm gonna have to take it. Yeah, again, he is still very much alive. He's alive and well, and he is very excited about what's coming down the pike to him.
By the way, did you know that's take your cat and leave my sweater? Yeah. I remember I didn't know that. I thought it was Cap and our buddy Grant. Grant Bill, shout out, was the one that told me about it. Did you know that?
I did. I wasn't gonna
take your cat and leave.
Leave my sweater. Yeah, because I don't want to look at that cat every single day. I've been taking care and feeding it and taking the litter box out 3 times a week for the last 4 years.
I'll tell you what, that blew my mind.
And now you're cheating on me? Yeah, you can take that cat. Leave that good sweater of mine, though, because I don't want you rocking my high school Letterman sweater anymore.
Well, yeah, it just blew my mind when we were talking about a living thing. Like, it was like, here, just take your cat.
Get it up out of here.
I felt kind of bad for the thing. Like, it didn't have a home now. It's a foster cat. I don't know. Look, Paul from Kenosha, looks like the Brewers game will not be on Channel 308. I might have to watch it at a local bar, BWWs, etc.
Oh, Buffalo Wild Wings action, never a bad deal on a Friday night.
Yeah, but go
better deal on a Thursday night.
Is it wing night or something?
Oh, it's Thursdays.
I know, but I haven't been.
Have you been living under a rock for the last 20 years?
Yes, I used to go a lot. I have not been to BWs.
That's true. You never came to a football feast.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't drive to Wausau or whatever you want.
Oh, we've been we've been to West Dallas.
I know. I should have gone to those.
I
used to love going to up to the
South 27th Street was always one of our favorites.
Really?
Yeah, right over by your little new neck of the woods.
That's an L for me. Though. That's an L for me. I'll give you.
I believe Paul's been at a football feast.
I'll give it to you.
Saw a young lady at a Brewers game a couple of weeks ago. She came up to us and said, "Hey, you gave me Packers tickets one time."
Thanks for the memory.
What?
Yeah.
at Football Feast. You dang right.
I love that.
More football coverage coming up once the pads start clashing. Just stay tuned to Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Some very exciting football conversation coming.
We have to do who's hot and who's not before I forget, right? Or did you want to wait on that?
I was going to say, let's do that in the next segment because
Okay.
we got a little expansive. Who's hot, who's not. There's a number of different things to be able to highlight in the hot category. A couple of really good ones in the not category. And then the W is providing our wake and bake story of the day here today. I don't know how many people are watching the WNBA on like a night in and night out basis. But when something happens that triggers a reaction like yesterday, it's going to happen. And maybe there's just a clean exclusion for a reason of one of your more primary stars. That comes up in about 25 minutes from right now in a Wake and Bake story with our friends from Happy Place Hemp. Who's hot, who's not with Donovan Jorgensen. Heating and Cooling is on the other side as we get you ready for Brewers and Cubs. Going to be a hot weekend in the good land across the state of Wisconsin. It's a hot and a great Friday morning to be huddled up with Billy and Armen on Fox Sports Radio Wisconsin. Who's hot, who's not with Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. We do it every day here on the Huddle, Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. I'm Billy Schmid. That's Armen Sarian. On the other side, Drew Olson will be back on Monday, patrolling this microphone and giving you who's hot, who's not with Donovan Jorgensen Heating and Cooling. For more than 40 years, they've been serving our community, and it's an easy choice because they do heating and cooling. Heating and cooling. Not plumbing, not electrical, not roofing. They do heating and cooling. There's a lot of companies that tell you that they can do a one-stop shop and that all of your household needs can all be rectified by one company. That means that they're a jack of all trades, master of none. This is a master of the one thing that you're going to need next week, which is heating and cooling, and most importantly, the cooling side, because the HVAC is going to get tested. They are the largest employee-owned HVAC company in the state of Wisconsin for more than 40 years. Go to donovanjorgensen.com for locations. They're just opening a new one now as well, but West Dallas, New Berlin, McGuanago. You've been seeing the blue trucks for a long time. They're always hot in who's hot, who's not. In the hot category coming up, Armen Sarian, this week, the Philadelphia Phillies, while the Brewers tamped down the Phillies a couple of weeks ago at American Family Field, including 27 up, 27 down, one hit, 95 pitch Maddox by Jacob Mizorowski 2 Fridays ago. Other than that, man, they have been absolutely rolling. It's the only series the Phillies have lost since they lost 2 of 3 against the Dodgers in May. And last night, they came all the way back to win 3 of 4, down 5-0 early, win 10-5, which was capped by 5 in the 9th and a 3-run shot to go ahead by Bryce Harper. Phillies are rolling, and as much as the Braves had built a massive cushion for the entirety of the year, they were the league's best team that nobody was talking about for quite some time. Yeah, don't look now. Don Mattingly's Philadelphia Phillies now just 4 games back in that NL East.
How about that? And they're doing kind of what Mets fans were hoping they do after the rough start, is totally turn it around and start winning. And while the Mets haven't, the Phillies have. And as you know, Billy, we often the whole water finds its level thing. I think we expected them to get better. Sometimes it doesn't happen. Speaking of the Mets, if you have talent, but the Phillies have, and I expect them to have their to be reckoned with come October. The thing is, the Braves are playing so well. I don't know if they're going to end up winning the East or not, but obviously with the wild card and things like that, they'll have a say in things. So it's going to be really interesting down the stretch to see if the Phillies can stay this hot. Maybe they could make a run at that thing. But either way, it looks like they're primed again to make at least a serious run toward being a playoff team.
Not hot, the aforementioned, as you just did, New York Metropolitans.
Struggling.
Freddie Peralta was on the bump against the Cubbies yesterday. He went 5 2/3.
Not terrible. That's a Freddie performance.
5 hits, 1 walk, 5 Ks, 3 runs, all unearned for the New York Mets, and that was the story of their 4-game series against the Chicago Cubs, where they had 2 errors last night. They had 6 in game 2 of their doubleheader on Wednesday. If you keep adding them up, the only day that they were clean was game 1 of that doubleheader. But that was also the day that Dansby Swanson drove in 7 runs in that game. And the Cubs were hot. Mets were not. They committed a total of 9 errors across 4 games against the Cubs, and they have lost 6 straight. They have lost 8 of their last 10, sliding so far back down the dinosaur. They're 13 games under 500.
A lot of people wonder, with Freddie Peralta, what will happen with him, and the numbers have dipped a bit this year. But when you're in an environment like that and your defense is playing that bad, sometimes those things just happen. I still believe in Freddie's quality as a pitcher. The numbers have not been as good this year as they were obviously with the Brewers last year, which was basically his peak year. But I do think there are going to be some interested suitors to him in the trade market, Billy. What do you think? Will he get moved? Will it affect us directly, whether it's in the division or with our team? Because I said this every year when Freddie was on our team, and I continue to say it now, where he's having the decent. Now, I know he had one really bad outing that kind of skewed it, but besides that, hasn't been terrible at all this year, considering how bad the Mets have been. Just hasn't been as good. But Freddie, I've said every year, will get hot at some point. Freddie has stretches, even in his down years, where he gets hot, has runs where he's putting up a double-digit Ks, having a good stretch of 5-6 starts in a row. He will get hot at some point. What team will it be for is what I'm wondering.
Yeah, and I would assume it's for another team. Him going on an expiring contract, his might be the most tradable contract in the sport.
It's almost and normal people like us will joke, but what is it, like 7 million, 8 million? It's
$8 million bucks. So the acquiring team will pick up $3.5, maybe $4 million on August 3rd. When the deadline goes down, he will definitely be moved. I would be surprised if the Cubs are not in the mix.
Well, they need
and I think they'll be heavily in the mix. Cabrera getting carted off the other day definitely signifies another need. We talked about it when Tricia Whitaker was hanging out with Hunter, that their rotation injuries are vast and seemingly ever expanding. Now the Brewers got all their injuries out of the way early.
Exactly.
They got their injuries out of the way early, and hopefully continuing to get healthier tonight. Jared Koenig expected to be back. That's a big win. I missed this one, and I forgot to mention it during the Phillies and Nationals game talk. Maybe in the not category, the guy that I said was probably still going to start the All-Star game, Christopher Sanchez, yesterday, 5 innings, 5 earnings, gave up a 2-run shot early, and 7 hits has not been great, even including that we saw that 5 2/3, 4 runs, and gave up 2 bombs against the Brewers. He's given up a homer in each of his last 4 games, has given up runs in all 5. Jacob Mizorowski might be able to make a little bit of a strong push to be that starter. I just think Sanchez is an easy favorite to do it just because it's in Philadelphia. That's going to be a hard one to pass up.
No
but
question.
now his ERA is almost a full run higher than Mizorowski's tonight. He can continue to add to that in his 16th start of the year for Jacob Mizorowski.
In that Cy Young arms race, well, no pun intended. Well, actually, somewhat.
I was going to say that was very intended. Come on, what are you talking about?
Miz, he has not been able to keep up with Miz, at least for that. So we'll see how that works. All-Star game starter, fine, go ahead. I don't really care. I'd rather Miz win the Cy Young. I want to see Miz pitch, obviously, in the All-Star game, but I'd rather him get that award and pitch well down the stretch. So that's what's more important there, but that's pretty interesting.
I'm by far on that side of the camp with you. That award at the end of the year, much, much better. Junior Caminero, hot. 3 for 5 yesterday, 6 driven in, 3 bombs for the Tampa Bay Rays as they 13-2 upend the Royals as well. And how about an old friend into the hot category? Give some love for Caleb Durbin. 2 for 3 yesterday, went yard, a 2-run shot, just over the Green Monster down the left field line against the Yankees. Red Sox win it 6-3 against the Bronx Bombers. And don't look now. Caleb Durbin.
Yes.
All the way up to 224.
You never gave up, Caleb. Keep it up. You got hot late in the year last year. You're going to do it again. I know it was a rough start. See, I like Caleb. He's one guy. We talk about, do you support the guys and they leave and not leave? He's one guy I just can't help it because I love Caleb Durbin. And Billy, he's played a pretty good third base defensively. His WAR has stayed steady. It's like 1.5. It's pretty good. So, as bad as it looked early on for Caleb Durbin, he's starting to turn 660 OPS. Get that thing closer to 700.
Just look at the month of June.
Yeah.
He hit 325 with 5 bombs. Not only 10 driven in is where he's at in the lineup, but nearly 1,000 OPS, 975.
Great, that's huge.
Those are huge numbers for a month for him to be able to roll through.
You're figuring it out, Caleb.
I'm with you. He also was phenomenal when he was on with us.
He was so great, man.
So that'll definitely give you some more buoy and some love from this program.
Humble guy, friendly guy. It was great.
I believe they're giving away a Caleb Durbin jersey at the Fond du Lac Spiders game coming up in a few weeks.
That's pretty cool. How about that? Yeah, I can't help making it a little personal. He was just great. And the thing is, it's gonna remind people, like last year we were having the same discussion. It was like, Caleb, the numbers weren't great early in the year. It's like, should we replace him at third? Then he started getting going a little bit. And I'm like, this guy's one of your best. And he came to play in the playoffs. Caleb had some nice games in the playoffs last year for the Brewers. So wish him well. Happy to see that. Billy, who's hot? I've been waiting to do this one. It's a little bit of a mea culpa.
Come on now, let's go.
You reminded me last week on one of these segments that Serena was making a return to tennis, and there should be an excitement there. And I said, listen, it's just
not only
doubles.
Tennis, Wimbledon.
And I'm like, it's just doubles, whatever. Because at first it was just like the doubles match with Venus, and I'm like, is this really for? But Serena is now going to be playing singles, back in the singles ranks.
Come on now.
At Wimbledon, the most famous tennis tournament in the world. So I've done a 180 on this. This is a big deal. one of the biggest American female sporting legends of all time. 44-year-old Serena Williams is making a triumphant return to tennis. Hopefully she can make a run. We'll see what's left there. But it's pretty cool to see that she's made the comeback. And she'll be facing 20-year-old Australian player Maya Joint in the first round.
She gonna get smoked like a joint by Serena,
so
or
hopefully Serena rolls her up and smokes her. So that's what we're hoping for. Now, listen, Maya, you're gonna probably have a nice career. You got a lot ahead of you, but it's not this week. It's not your time. I don't know anything about you, but you're in big trouble.
What was Serena like when she walked away? Like, was she near the peak? Hard to be the peak of her powers because she was the most untouchable athlete in the world.
It's weird because Serena's always been the dominant player in the women's ranks. So obviously, as she got older, that dominance faded a bit, but it was never to the point because she was so good in the women's game.
She was so good
that it was hard to ever count her out of anything, right? But then obviously, family, kids, the age, retirement. She had some health problems. I know serious ones with one of the kids or one of the pregnancies, but good to see she's coming back, and we'll see. She's always been one of the best powerful ball strikers, precision ball strikers, and the intimidation factor. I'm sorry. It's like when you see that name, Jordan, LeBron, like when you see Serena, like it's like when Tiger would play, you'd see the name. So when you're playing a one-on-one sport like tennis, and there aren't that many of them, you're always going to have that in the back of your mind, the intimidation factor. It's like, I don't know what Usain Bolt could run anymore.
Yeah, but it's still Usain Bolt lining up on the starting blocks.
If you're young and you're lined up against Usain Bolt, you're thinking this is Usain Bolt. So we'll see what can happen. We'll see whether or not she can, what her form is, how she's playing. No idea. Haven't seen her play in a while, but
is this
the game?
Would this be something of she is doing tennis a solid? Is this
sure? I mean,
her just desperately wanting to get back into the game, or do you think it's a little bit more of a combination of both?
That's a great question. I think it's probably a little bit of both, but it's always going to help the game when she's playing.
Because you mentioned Tiger, the game was the event on Sunday was always going to be different if he was going to be on the leaderboard.
Always,
if he's somewhere near the top.
And you've had good female players, obviously dominating, but not everyone likable. Not a lot of Americans. Sabalenka, you can have an opinion on Sabalenka, whatever. She's been kind of.
Has her name been? You said annoying.
I don't like her.
Not exactly one of the hottest names.
But she's been dominating the sport a little bit in the women's side. So,
will cramping be an issue in this in this event?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay, so I won't take center.
Well, speaking of don't. But speaking of hot and cold, it will be hot. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be hot around here at least. I don't know what the forecast is in London, but you've seen the forecast, Billy, for next week. We're going to be in the 90s here.
Yeah, we're going to be scorching.
So make sure you're calling Donovan Jorgensen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And also who was hot last night, Coach Pochettino. He was a little hot, a little miffed, a little frustrated. Said it was a little sad. I thought I was going to be celebrated here. I thought everybody was going to come up in here and congratulate me for taking y'all to the next round. Winning the group.
Should we get that audio again? I know we played it in the first hour.
Thank you. Coach Pochettino last night after the USA does lose 3-2. Now, we didn't have our best lads out there. We did get Christian Pulisic out there for a little bit. Looked good. He was running around.
That was big for us.
I'd like to see Pulisic out there, even though he doesn't think we care about goals. We care about him. We care about the USA scoring goals and winning games. Not what they did last night, lose 3-2. Coach Ponch didn't necessarily love the response he was getting at the podium last night.
For you not to say congratulations that we won the group, that is a little bit sad. It's very positive to finish in the way that we finished. Cannot be possible, I'm sorry guys, it cannot be possible that Turkey finish celebrating the 3-point and Australia celebrating the qualification, Paraguay celebrating the qualification, and come here and for you not to say congratulations that we won the group. That is a little bit sad, but only that. I need to remember you and everyone that we won the group. Sorry, guys. We won.
Sorry, guys. We won. Sorry, you guys. We did win. You might want to be a little bit happier here. Might want to be a little bit more congratulatory. We did advance. Sure, we lost to Turkey, who did feel like they were going to be 1, 2, 3 Cancun. Instead,
they still are.
Man, they played hard. I think there's something to giving some credit on the other side. I do it in a lot of different sports, definitely in football because there are 11 guys on that side. Man, they could have easily packed it in, especially after the U.S. puts one in the back of the net 150 seconds into the match.
Right.
I mean, they're still counting it in seconds. And it's 1-0, and you could see the Turkish players being like, "Are you kidding me, dude? Like, what did we just walk into?"
Thought they'd pack it in.
They kept rolling, they kept playing, they kept swinging, and good for them. They got themselves a World Cup win, and they got 3 points to take home with them to Turkey. To Turkey A.
Yeah, whatever they're calling. Yeah, whatever they're calling.
Are they calling the country Turkey A or just the team Turkey A?
I don't know. I don't care about them. They're clown. But anyway, yeah. No, I think they are trying to do that. They had to apply to the UN for that. That's the process.
Well, good luck with it. I maybe that will work a little bit faster
UN
than the applications that the NCAA is trying to throw into to the
right. Maybe
courts.
That would be good. Maybe
Rare W, by the way, for the NCAA yesterday. They voted to allow teams transitioning from FCS to FBS to be qualified for the playoffs in year number 1.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the easiest thing to do of all time.
That was
North Dakota State Bison. Did you know? Going to be Mountain West team this year.
That's
going to
interesting.
be in FBS coming up this year. They have dominated FCS, so they can go to the college football playoff coming up just this year.
I didn't realize that, but that was kind of a layup for them. And speaking of in that same realm, did you see the Clippers draft pick is going to play at Auburn? That's the first time in the modern era someone's opting to play in college after being drafted in the NBA. Like, no thanks.
They're going to stash him in the SEC?
They're stashing. This is a better deal. I'm going to make money here. Thanks, NBA, but no thanks.
That's genius.
I couldn't pronounce the young man's name, so I didn't want to.
I'm going to be stunned to see more guys not do it.
Yeah. I mean, he was the 57th pick, so late second rounder, but.
Wow. And they're talking about guaranteed money in college. I'd be back there in a heartbeat as well.
A lot, too.
A lot of guaranteed money. No doubt about it. Guaranteed chance to go to Festa Italiana if you're caller number 4 right now. Caller 4 right now gets a 4-pack of Festa Italiana tickets here on the Huddle. People really win on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. Go and grab a couple of cannolis on us. 4-pack of Festa Italiana tickets up for grabs next. Our Wake and Bake story from the W wraps up the week right after this. Armen coming back with a little Cody Johnson, who is going to be playing Summerfest at the amphitheater tonight. Cody Johnson might be a real life cowboy. Like if there is somebody that looks like a cowboy, it is Cody Johnson.
He sounds like one. He's got that baritone twang.
This is a good tune.
Travis
this is one good tune. He also, though, apparently, and also our 608 giving us this shout out right now. Cody Johnson, heck of a day to be seeing him at Summerfest. His new album, Banks of the Trinity, came out this morning.
I'll tell you what, he's going to be fired up.
So he drops an album and then is going to play at Summerfest tonight. Seems like it might be a good night to be going and seeing Cody Johnson at Summerfest.
Yeah, probably. Like I think he'll be fired up. Obviously, he just had that big career moment, so he'll probably give you the best he has.
A couple of these song titles on the new album are 1000% country music songs. Horseback, no better way to start it up out of here. Hello, Lonesome.
Yeah, these are Cowboys. I mean, where's old boy from
now?
Armen?
A little interesting here. Number 9 on that track list, Kissing a Married Woman.
All right. Well, hey, I mean,
okay, Cody Johnson.
A little controversial.
Damn, Cody Johnson. Okay, I see you.
You weren't familiar with the game. No, listen. Hey, it's going to be a run for Summerfest. Last night, of course, the world famous Ed Sheeran, Cody Johnson tonight, huge performer.
And tomorrow night,
Post Malone.
Post Malone.
Yeah. So that's a run if I've ever seen one. For the
I can't say that
headliner.
while I was in college listening to a large amount of Post Malone.
Yeah.
That I ever thought he'd be headlining Summerfest singing country. But, you know, Beer Bongs and Bentleys as the album name back then didn't necessarily lead itself to me thinking he was going to go into country music.
Yeah.
One of the hotter names in country music is Post Malone. It's going to be a heck of a night coming up tomorrow night as well.
And Billy, I never thought that I'd be one day trying to make it to the 4:30 Vertical Horizon show, but getting old is getting old and it's not that bad.
And it gets to changing things, right? Sometimes the
Right.
times change, the seasons change, people change. Leagues change. Time for our Wake and Bake story of the day. Brought to you by Happy Place Hemp and happyplacehemp.com. Use promo code HUDDLE. You get 25% off your entire order at happyplacehemp.com. And they ship it to you for free when you use promo code HUDDLE. So it's 25% off and free shipping. That's a 2 deal in one combo. Hard to beat. And Happy Place Hemp is hard to beat. Go and talk to the guys if you want to go stop into their store in Muskego off College Avenue. You'll have an even better experience. You'll talk about the Miz beating the Cubs coming up tonight. Kyle Harrison dominating the Cubs coming up tomorrow. And then maybe Brandon Woodruff sweeping it right out on Sunday afternoon and enjoy a great weekend at the ballpark with Happy Place Hemp. So I don't know a ton about the WNBA.
Okay.
Admittedly so, probably should know more. One thing I do know is the little bit I know is because of Caitlin Clark.
Yeah,
all
very
due
popular.
respect to Diana Taurasi, Lisa Leslie, who I had on the cover of a couple of Sports Illustrated for Kids, if I remember correctly, back in the day.
Big star. Rebecca Lobo was a star.
Maya
Maya Moore. Talk about Cynthia
Candace
Cooper.
Parker, who I saw throw down for the
Candace.
first time at Tennessee. Like the
Shaniqua
WNBA
Holdsclaw.
has been doing its thing for a while. They celebrating their 30-year anniversary.
Impressive.
They put out a cool anniversary poster, and along with Cheryl Swoops and company, who, again, deservedly so, need to be on the cover and be celebrated, Brianna Stewart, for their dedication to the W over the 30 years. There was one picture in one face that was kind of omitted, and it was Caitlin Clark. Now, you're saying, Billy, that's because she's been in the WNBA for like a minute, dude.
Yeah, so maybe
Been in
it's
the WNBA for like 3 years.
So maybe
Well,
it's the old heads, right?
yeah, the old heads like Paige Beckers,
Okay.
Kelsey
player.
Plum,
Huh.
Asia Wilson. Again, Asia Wilson should be on there.
Obviously.
Dude, I think Sophie Cunningham is on the picture.
Yeah, see, that's where people started scratching
Like-
their heads. And I heard Dan Patrick really spending a lot of time on this yesterday.
I don't understand, and this all comes on the heels of the young lady like getting suspended yesterday, no flagrant foul for the landing spot foul against Caitlin, and then getting up, utilizing her fist to Caitlin's throat to try to stand up.
And then people were upset about that.
She did get suspended for it yesterday for one game. People were upset about it. I just don't understand the biting off the hand that feeds you. Like, she hasn't completely changed the game with a capital C, but with a lowercase she has. They were flying commercial for the longest time, and now it's
Right.
private jets. a ton of ESPN games and ABC games.
A lot more
money for everybody.
So in that sense, you're absolutely right. She's changed the game.
But the pettiness is unbelievable,
It was a little bit puzzling. I'll totally agree with you there, Billy.
Like, everybody chill out, grab a gummy, and feel a little bit better and embrace the fact that the league's never been better and had more eyeballs on it, large portion because of her. That's not a bad thing and not a knock on anybody else. Not a knock on any other shows that we've done. I thought today was pretty good. It'll be way better on Monday when Drew Olson is back in this chair. For Armen Sarian, final word. Lena wearing a Brewers shirt today?
Yes.
And the Brewers are winning?
Yes.
I'm Billy. It's been the Huddle on Fox Sports Radio, Wisconsin.
Peace.